Hello, 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 and welcome you all to Seek Truth, Speak Truth. I hope you're enjoying your day wherever you are on our lovely rotating oblate spheroid. Woo! The sun is still shining. I've got my curtains closed and are still shining through, so woo! One of the only channels on YouTube with truth in the name, and I actually speak the truth. We've got 25 people, 28 people. Thank you very much. Please do hit that like on your way in. It really does help spread the message of the channel. So thank you. Adam L, well done, mate. You got back on time from your beer run. So well done. We have Flatzoid in the chat. Hello, buddy. You're more than welcome to jump on if you want, mate. Always welcome. Marcus Dresden, David Oliver, Bullet Bill. I like this. Leave that up for a bit. Inquisitor Bacon, Tony Williams. At first I thought this was 0000, but then I realised it's ooh. And that's the same noise I make when I get up in the mornings. Bit cranky, bit stiff. We've got a couple of guests already in the waiting room. So we have Mr. 42 and we have Mr. Deadly Dave. How are we all doing? Dave? You're muted, Mr. 42, I think.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm trying a new button for muting and I forgot that I used that button instead of the other one. And of course, that is the moment that my daughter starts whining. Hang on.
Deadly. Oh, I love it. That was like one of them newsroom outtakes. Where, like, the news just starts and the person's like running to their chair.
Quite literally, look. It's what was sitting on the chair.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it, man. I can't stop laughing. I was just like, I was looking, going, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Mr. 42 was muted. I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, we have to keep up with our expectations. They expect problems. So yeah, we have to give them problems.
Of course.
It started too well, didn't it? It started too well. I don't know whether I missed. Yeah, perspective, mate. If you do want to jump on, just obviously shout out. Limey play as well. I think we'll just have a bit of an evening tonight. We've got Bullet Bill. I'm about to add you to the stream, and I do see that you are on your chair, and he's ready and waiting like a professional, not like Deadly Dave. So we can.
Hello. Evening.
Good to see you. Good to see you, mate.
Yeah.
How do you feel after the debate the other day?
Yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. And it's been a long time coming. BB has talked a lot of excrement.
Bullet, are you sure you're using the correct input? The mic from the headset? Because it sounds a bit different.
I'll just check. Hold on.
Rob Slide, you legend.
Now. Is that sounding better? Oh, hold on.
I am as well. Look, I'm still getting the sun. Look.
Well, Limey play change. Usually he takes his laptop outside and just comes on anyway, huh?
That's true.
I have the windows open in here, but because my my monitors kind of generate a bit of heat, it's currently registering in this room as 26.5 degrees.
Ah, nice.
And I have a hoodie on for some reason.
Obviously, I can't open the windows because I'm on a spaceship. That doesn't really work.
That would be catastrophic.
Yeah.
So,
is your audio okay, Bullet Bill? Is your audio okay,
Right.
Bullet?
got obviously this mic, and I've got the mic on my laptop. I obviously wanted to pick up this one, but I can't really.
You have to select a source in StreamYard. I don't think selecting on your PC is sufficient.
I've selected the source, but I've got two that look the same. Do I sound? How clear do I sound now?
Now is good.
Right. Okay, that's probably the right one then. Okay.
There we go.
It comes up twice for some reason. I don't know.
What? Very, very strange. Very, very strange. So, do you think BB sort of said anything during that debate that kind of made you think, or I don't know. It's kind of, he came out of it positively because he wasn't a denier. At first, I thought he was just going to be completely in denial of it. But
I think,
what were your sort of thoughts on it?
My thoughts is that when BB has been very keen in the chats and the comments and whatever, he's been very, very keen to get his point across. And I think in order to do that, he's been trying a bit too hard, and he's been quite aggressively going at people and, kind of trying to shout people down. And I think that led us to believe that, he must be, he must be one of them, which I don't think he is. And I think most of the people watching the debate will know that he isn't really, one of the crazies, if you like. But he still does think a lot of things that are incorrect. I would say, no offense to BB here, but I don't think I went away from the debate learning anything really. Because even the points that he had that were valid against going into lockdowns, I was already well aware of, I don't think it's anyone's argument that, lockdowns are great. Let's do lockdowns. Of course they're not, but they're definitely necessary at the moment. And that was my point. He failed to demonstrate that, lockdowns cause more harm than good.
Did you end up looking at the graph for Ireland? What happened at Christmas time with us?
Yeah, I did.
I can remember you mentioning that on a previous stream as well. Actually,
I had popped on to say it, but somebody came to my door and I ran away. But yeah, if you just look at the graph for Ireland, we opened up for Christmas. The advice from our health department was don't, but the government did it anyway. And evening, Ian. And then when we
Ian Keeley. Nice to I'm joking, buddy. That's very good. I'll just actually, I think what Ian said there was a really good point. Symptom of a far greater problem that society faces today. How do we find an objective solution to a subjective problem? Yeah, I mean, it's about the subject, not the actual facts, is it? It's in your own mind. It's not about the science. It's your head.
I think it's about interpretation, and I think we improve the interpretation by improving education.
Yes. Yeah. You got to keep your intellectual self-defense up, You got to keep it up, because if you don't, then there are so many people who will be happy to play upon that, to do all sorts of things to promote flat Earth. It might be to sell you something. It might be to further a political agenda. It might be whatever it is. They're more than happy to use your naivety to to further whatever selfish cause they have. So yeah, if you forgive,
you believe you live on a spinning ball flying through the void of space. Question your own beliefs first.
We did.
I have to give Helen DeGeneres some credits there, because I've never ever heard that argument before. I mean, it's just
it is literally like, I can't understand, therefore fake, isn't it? Because I went through it. I couldn't understand it. As soon as I heard the words like 66 million, whatever, and you just start going, boo, 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 and suddenly you go, no, it's all fake. It's all fake. I can't believe it. But, when you actually look at the scale of things, the size of things, it does make sense. It's just because our tiny little minds can't comprehend the numbers. It's basically that.
They're not even that big. You get way bigger.
Well, they're not.
And smaller.
But funnily enough, not only are humans really bad at identifying big numbers, we're also extremely bad at identifying small numbers. Like as in really small numbers. Like when you get down to the, 10 to the minus 17.
Like 2 nanometers.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the size of a microchip?
Well, yes, maybe about 2 nanometers as well. That wasn't where I was going, but now that you mention it.
Just promote your video already. I know you want to.
We've got to do the name drop at some point, haven't we? We have got to do
I suppose so, yeah.
Somewhere. So maybe not yet, though. We'll leave the viewers waiting. Who did Deadly Dave call out as wrong?
It wasn't me.
One of the big creators. We will find out soon. No, only joking. He's probably bloody listener.
I'm still trembling from when I was doing that. I remember when I was going to click the upload button and I was sitting there looking, going, what are you doing? Think about what you're doing. Like, just be careful here. And
I'd love that. Anyway. I'd call him
and what do I say in every of my videos? Don't panic. And what do you do?
Earlier.
You panic.
I think a good rule of thumb, I tell you what, if he says something in chat, I think we're officially allowed to to his name.
Yeah, hopefully he is listening. Oh, it's so funny. No, we will say it, but we'll leave them hanging for a bit.
Yeah.
But then, it's all a bit of fun and games. It's all fun and games. Red Arrow's pilot, we fly over flat water. So
literally everyone else, the world is round.
Yeah. Felix Baumgartner. I saw the beauty of the curvature of Earth from that height.
Every astronaut ever says the world is round. But of course, those don't count, do they? Those quotes. It's like, bullshit, they're lying. But no, this pilot, he's the only one telling the truth.
Especially not being funny. Somebody that has got in the red arrows, which is like the best of the best of the best. They may have quipped and said, "Oh, I fly over flat water," but I ask them, try and find out and email them, and say, "Do you think we live on a globe?" And I guarantee you, they will say yes. Like you don't fly for the red arrows and think we live on a flat Earth.
Besides the fact, I don't care if they're the emperor of all science. If they say something, it doesn't make it true. Anyone could be wrong, and lots of people frequently are, including scientists with PhDs. Look at James Tour. He's a creationist. He's a creationist, and he has a PhD in, I can't remember what it is, some sort of chemistry.
But he doesn't ever use his chemistry he doesn't ever discuss creationism in his scientific works. It's quite amusing. Like there's a massive centerline divide. There's a point where this is where I talk about my academic work, and this is where I talk about creationism, and they do not cross.
I mean, I think he does. James Shaw does, but I think that the weird thing with him is that the environment that he works in is where everything that he does is either stuff that he's making himself or using chemicals that other people have made. And he's trying to argue abiogenesis based on that, which is so ridiculous. And I think he must even know that it's a ridiculous argument. But I think he knows that the sort of lay person listening will think, oh, look, well, there's a proper chemist and he thinks blah, blah. You can't compare that. You just can't compare ordering sort of chemicals from some company to the the origin of life. It's just ridiculous. So it just goes to the point where it doesn't really matter. Like science is not based on what scientists say. That's not where we get our knowledge from. We get it from experimentation, from data, from maths, from all of these things, and then scientists will help us to explain what that means. True, but the ruler of all things in science, the thing that holds all the power, is the actual, facts and data and numbers.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the beauties about science is nobody is above reprise. You know, nobody is above scrutiny. You know, if you say something that's wrong, there is a whole host of people sitting there ready to take your place if they can, and they will point out where you're wrong, and they will then. But I mean, they don't do it the nah way. They do it the here's where you're wrong, here's why you're wrong, here's what we discovered, and here's how we prove you're wrong. And then it goes ahead.
That's the argument. That's the argument I try and get across to flat earthers. Is like, you know, do you honestly think that every person that is a scientist in the world like works for they? Do you know what I mean? Like, so many people they work for things that are nothing to do with government, nothing to do with they. You know, but their lives still depend on. We live on a globe, and it's just so right. Like you cannot. Do you honestly think flat earthers or like Helen that everyone's got it wrong? Like how? No, like it's as simple as that. Without the science, like it's just humanly impossible for a lie to be that big. Like humans are terrible at keeping secrets, absolutely terrible. So no.
What do you mean? I'm CGI and nobody knows it. Oh shit! It's on screen.
Turns out you can't even get favors as a president in the office from women without and be able to keep that a secret. Yet somehow we've managed to hide the shape of the world throughout.
It was 2 people and it came out. Yeah.
Yep.
I
just
think
2 people
Bill
involved
said that in his arguments, right?
Well, 2 people, but 3 come out.
I'm trying to see what Helen DeGeneres wrote there. Can't communicate beyond 230 miles.
We do that every day.
What on earth are you talking about?
You can call Australia. That's a bit more than 230 miles.
But we can do better than that. We're all.
I'm actually visiting Loch Lomond in like August.
I'm going to Loch Lomond in August. We literally can. I don't know who he is, but he's wrong. Like we can.
He is Dave's cousin.
I don't think Helen DeGeneres' points are not many of them are worth merit, really. Unfortunately.
Let's see who he's talking about. I think he said a name before. Terry Virts, astronaut. That's who he's referring to.
Okay.
He wrote it a little bit earlier.
I'm not bothered.
Yeah. The
so
Felix
give us the source, Helen.
Yeah, he won't have sauce. He might have some brown or red in his cupboards, but other than that, he's got no sauce.
You spent all the time leading up to the stream thinking up of that. I'm only kidding.
Yeah,
I think the thing is, the space jump thing. I think that was cool. I mean, that's an understatement. I think it's amazing. You know, it's an incredible thing. But I think you can't really use that, unfortunately, for any kind of, you know, flat Earth or globe Earth proof. Not really, because that's not really the point of the thing. The point of the thing is to be like, look at how high up this guy is. Isn't this incredible? By Red Bull. But however,
the thing is,
Mr. Sensible, if you want something like that, Mr. Sensible, I mean, that's like one of the best. Like, I don't know if anyone else will outdo him when it comes to the Mage 2, I think it was. That was brilliant. I can't believe, like, not only how high it went up, but also the considerations that he made to rule out any other possible.
He covered
argument.
every single base possible.
And it was incredible. It was an incredible.
I remember actually saying like months ago that I was using Mage as like a marker, really. And if you show a flat earther that, I honestly think if I'd have seen that, no comment, you know, before any contact with conspiracy cats or anything, I would have watched that and realised actually we do live on a globe, if you know what I mean. So I reckon he did help hundreds of people, but like that made me realise, like any person I show that to now and they just go, oh, it's optical effects and, you know, and you're just like, no, like, no, you're not worth the time.
isn't it a shame we found ourselves in a world where people seem to only accept video evidence, which is a bit weird because I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's probably the easiest thing I can fake. Like, admittedly, it's still going to be hard to fake accurate evidence. I'm not disputing that, but I can make videos, I can make recordings. We know TV can be not real. Maths works always. Maths is maths. You know, all the people that actually measured distances and actually measured it, that they're measurements, and you know, you can go and follow it up. And I suppose I suspect it's because watching is easy and reading is hard.
Yeah, it's the tangible sort of, it's there and I can see it, and I can and probably one more for flat earthers would be, it's there, I can see it, and I could probably touch it, you know, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? In real life, whereas in space, I think they know that they can't really go out and do these for themselves. So even though and it's completely rational why you can't do that, that sort of level of separation is enough to say, well, you know, it's I can't really take their word for it. I'm
just going to address this comment from Helen. This gets brought up. This is probably about the 10th time I've answered you this. So, Seek Truth, you said the elite who run the world are satanic paedophiles. Now you think not. So, yes, I did have a video as a flat earther where I'm literally calling the royal family and everything paedophiles and satanic, and they run the world, because I was a conspiracy theorist. I believed that was what was happening. So again, people can change their minds, and you seem to think all of this happened overnight. No, it didn't. There probably are or is a individual still within the royal family that may have done or may have not done certain things. So I'm still open and aware to what may have or may have not gone on, but I do not now think that they're all drinking adrenochrome and, you know, trafficking little babies. And that's what I thought. I was silly, I was stupid, but not now. You know, it's as simple as that. So I don't know why you keep bringing that up. Like, it's a typical conspiracy theorist thing to believe. And I've got my senses back, realised that stuff does go on in the world, but not everybody at the top that you call they. It just can't happen. And when it does, these things get found out.
It's
sorry,
funny
it just
how,
makes me angry sometimes. He just keeps bringing it up.
The flat earthers, like, they'll bring up stuff like this because I think they kind of like want to try and pull you back, and I think it's funny that they don't really realize that it's not really going to happen, and it's almost weird. It's like I almost could tell the sort of disappointment in that message, and you think, what, are you disappointed that you turn that sort of stuff away? I mean, it's really like,
like, how could you give that up? Like, you know,
how could you give it up? Thinking like everything's run by these Satanists.
It reminds me of the comment the other day, Craig, where we were. You had made some comment. I can't even remember who it was that was talking to you, but yeah, somebody basically said, "Oh, but you said this thing once," and you were like, "Yeah, and now I've changed my mind."
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it's just but they hold you to it, and they're like, you said you were never going to make flat earth content anymore.
That's what it was.
And the fact that I deleted the video where I said that, so he was like, there's something, you know, thinking there's something going on, you've deleted the video now, and I was like, people are allowed to change their minds, and why am I going to keep a video on my channel where I'm saying I'm not doing debunking videos anymore and then carry on doing debunking videos? It doesn't make great continuity for the channel. So I was like, of course I'm going to delete it. Do you know what I mean? And like, he's just like, oh my God, like, you fucking, something's going on. Like, and just like, no, mate, like, no.
I think, sorry, after you, Bill.
You go.
Okay.
Go.
I was just going to say that I think one of the differences there, maybe, again, CQ would have a better idea of this than I would, but I think that a lot of flat earthers, where with their channel and stuff like that, their goal is to convert people. I mean, the idea is I need to make more people into flat earthers. Look at what I know that you don't know, and I need to change your minds. And they forget that we're here to have a laugh. And when I'm done, I hang up this and I go back about doing whatever I'm doing. And I don't think about that sort of stuff anymore, because I have something to do that isn't this. And therefore you're deleting videos, so you're not documenting everything perfectly, even though you're like, well, I'm not here to document, I'm here to make a channel that's fun.
Yeah, that's it. That is it. And I think that's what everyone still does, is this is entertainment, you know what I mean, or trying to be. But the flat earthers watch it and they think like, you know, well, not all of them, but some of them literally think I'm a shill. You know, they literally think that NASA or they are that worried that there's a man sitting here with 46 people watching him being paid by NASA, like to help cover up the lie. It's delusional, isn't it? I mean,
wouldn't it be just wouldn't it be just so much cheaper to nuke all the anti-flat earth or the flat earth channels? Just nuke them all.
That's what I mean. If they really wanted to censor it, they could delete every single flat earth channel there is.
Oh yeah.
And
just make it illegal.
Gone.
They could do that.
Sorry, yes, I forgot to do the day.
YouTube could delete every single flat earth channel if they wanted to, quite easily. And no one could really do a thing about it. And they don't, you know, they leave them up. But they're trying to do something good now by not really allowing too many easily absorbed minds to go down that route, you know. So they're not stopping speech. They're just kind of, you know, stopping the obvious funnel that was going on. And a lot of people found flat earth when, you know, if there was no YouTube, there wouldn't be any flat earthers, would there? Do you know what I mean? Like they're literally
not. YouTube, Facebook, and general social media. I think.
Yeah, sorry.
I think there probably would, but it would be a very, very, very small amount of people, and it would have nowhere near the appeal or the movement behind it. Because after all, there were flat earthers before the internet existed.
Limey Play just said he'll jump on. But as I'm live at the minute, Mr. 42, is there any way you could send Limey Play a link somehow to the stream?
I'm going to do it right now, and Limey, it will be on Discord.
Cool. Thank you, mate. Should we just, as Mr. 42 needs a bit of a congratulations, I think, with his sudden rise to YouTube fame or infamy, one of the two.
Yeah. Not good enough yet, but yeah, I'm on my way. I'm on
doing well, though.
I'm over 500 right now.
Nice. I mean, I'm happy with that many views, let alone that many subscribers.
I would be happy with that amount of view as well. It has gone
That's
up.
the thing, actually, guys.
Does not get 500 views yet.
You know, I have the saying, like, with business, like, turnover is vanity, profit is sanity. It's the same with YouTube. Like, subscribers are vanity, views are sanity. You know, and that's how I judge that I'm still pretty small channel. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's how you should look at it, I think, because I really love channels where they've got like 10,000 subscribers and every video they get like 8, 9, 10,000 views. And I just really think that's great. You know, that's a really well functioning YouTube channel. But I actually don't care about that. I just love it when it happens to other people. I'm just really happy with what I've got now. Yeah, so I'm not moaning. I'm just kind of saying, like, keeping those views going is the difficult part over the sub, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's true. And what I enjoy most is actually the comments. So people are watching, find something to comment on, so there's some interaction. Then you do it not for just YouTube, but there is people there really watching it.
Yeah. Oh, I missed a super chat from David Oliver, I believe. I'm so sorry. Please say it's still there. People are calling me thick and stupid because I know 9 plus 10 is 19, but they're insisting on it's 21. That's what it is, David, I'm afraid. Yeah. You're being told you're thick.
I don't know if anyone remembers that stupid,
And then we did have another one. Sorry, guys. I just need what just before I miss it. Roll mops. The idea that NASA is paying shills is just an ego trip. First thinking they are priority for the they and all. It feeds into the delusion. That is a great comment, actually.
Yeah, very true.
It adds to the makes them feel special. Imagine one of the greatest things in the world basically now, which I think is NASA. I know there's a lot better out there, but they're doing good. And then someone's like, no, they're lying because of me. This whole no. Wake up, flat earthers, please. It's much sunnier this side.
Well, I also think it's really funny when the constant NASA talk happens. And as I said, I don't know about other people, but a lot of the people I speak to are not American. I don't know how else to say that to them, but I'm not American. I don't care about NASA.
Yeah. Yeah, I do know what you mean. It's not like I was speaking to a guy on Facebook the other day, and he was like, NASA says the horizon is this far away at this height. And I was like, when the hell have NASA said that? What the hell does NASA have to do with how far the horizon is away? Where did you get that from?
They were making their debunk videos. Do you remember NASA making the debunk videos?
Were they? Did NASA actually do?
Actually, no. NASA have.
He did use his sarcastic voice there for you, STST.
I missed it.
There
Sorry.
was one. I don't think they've done much. There's at least one that I know of, though, where
Chin?
I don't have a drink. I'm gonna
get
a drink in a sec. But there's at least one where I think it was a woman who was some sort of an engineer, astrophysicist, something like that, who worked at NASA, who addressed certain flat Earth points. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the one I mean?
Didn't she drive the transport bus from the car park?
Yeah.
I think that was it. She was a bus engineer.
Was she?
£5 super chat from David Oliver. Thank you, mate. You're a legend, buddy. Not too much. I'm not worth too much, buddy. Did you build that roller coaster at the start? I didn't. I wish I could. I'm actually scared of roller coasters, if I'm honest. So even watching that makes me feel a little bit sick. But yeah. NASA told Neil. That's the quote of the bloody Eric G. Bay saying NASA told Neil not to speak to Eric G. Bay. You're like, come on, man.
Oh God.
NASA told Neil. What an idiot he is.
Eric G. Bay. I mean, no, well, not only an idiot, he's just the thing that about debate is that he's just it's crazy how horrible a human being he is. He's just he's the same ilk as Thompson and things like that, but he's just yeah. I mean, I don't even
let it out,
say
Bill. It's therapeutic. Call him a piece of shit.
Keep it coming.
Go on. Virtual hug, dude. Virtual hug.
He's just a new age,
This is a
snide
safe
little
space.
shit that thinks he knows what he's talking about, and he's
There you go. Didn't you feel a bit better now?
Yeah. I do actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he just looks like a guy that you wouldn't trust. You know, it's like if you saw him like in the street, you'd be like,
He looks like a guy that I would have mugged when I was in my teens.
yeah.
Fucking,
I love this quote. I love
he
this from
would have got
Rachel
beat
here.
at school.
Well, to be fair, Neil would lose to Jabay because Globers always say Neil is wrong. Neil isn't wrong. He just kind of says stupid things sometimes, like Earth is pear-shaped, and you know they get cherry-picked. Mind, he never ever meant pear-shaped.
well, I mean,
do you know what I mean? So
All he
Neil
means
deGrasse
when he
Tyson
says
says-
pear-shaped is it's a bit fatter at the bottom, like low, you know, south of the equator than it is north. That's all he means by pear-shaped. But Flurfs take everything way too literal.
the point is
The
though,
Bible.
let's on a basic level here, Neil deGrasse Tyson, because apparently what he says is I don't know, is the most
Gospel.
important thing in the world. But okay, Neil deGrasse Tyson says that the Earth is round and that it isn't flat. So
Yeah.
is he
So he
right or
knows
wrong
what he's
about that?
talking
Also, also, Debate wouldn't beat DeGrasse Tyson. I mean, the man is a really smart man. He says some stupid shit when he's in front of a camera, because we all say stupid shit when
And
we're in
on
front of the
Twitter.
camera. Yeah, fair
A lot of
enough.
people have made
In front of an
great
audience,
careers
then
from
should I
it.
say? In front of an audience. But again, I mean, that's just because he's not necessarily fully considering who his audience is. And it's exactly as you were saying, Limey, that, you know, he's saying it as an off-the-cuff comment. It's a comment that because it seems so patently absurd that in 2021 anyone would go, "Oh, you said the word pear. You're wrong. Flat." And it's just that seems so patently absurd that he thinks he can literally, you know, talk casually, just say nice words. Again, Neil deGrasse Tyson, when he's in front of an audience, is not doing science. At that point, he's communicating.
He's there for it's entertainment, really, isn't it?
Mhm.
Like you say, we all do stupid stuff in front of the camera. I was watching this video earlier today of this bloke. He was that stupid in front of the camera that he pointed out that Simon Dan, YouTube royalty, made a mistake. Whew, you know. Gee,
That was
how
a
dare
segue.
he.
That was a segue. I like that.
Coincidence? I've seen this video as
no,
well.
it's a great video, though. Great video.
Yeah. And
Oh,
the man himself came over, didn't he, and just was like, "Yep," held his hands up and said, "I'll kind of recorrect it in the next video."
That's
I
that's
did like a
what we
poll.
do. We admit when we're wrong.
Yes, and like
Flirts
on my
don't.
poll it said like literally like that's why people will love what Simon Dan does, is because the next video he's going to correct himself. Do you know what I mean? And that's what scientific people do. You know.
Yeah,
Can we
it's
discuss
something
that
he's
poll for a second?
happy to have learned something, or you know.
can we discuss that poll for a second? I don't know how many. I don't know how many of your audience are watching.
To discuss Simon Dan's poll.
But I don't know how many of the audience that are, you know, that took part in the poll or whatever have you that are watching, but it's a little bit worrying to see that even after all the comments went up saying, no, like this is actually the case. Dan was in the comments. Dan made his, you know, Dan said that was the case, and there are still 60 to 40 voting against it, which leads me to believe that the people that think they are critical thinkers are just lucky that they're on the right side. They're not necessarily critical thinkers.
To be fair, like I wasn't even sure what I wanted to answer on that one, because Simon Dan subbed to my channel, and I don't want that channel.
I think some people voted no.
And B, you know, are we ever really wrong if we're not flirfs? No, we just haven't learned yet.
I think some people voted without actually clicking on the link. They just literally saw
probably.
like it's all man damn wrong, and they just clicked no. If you know what I
No,
mean.
then
Yeah,
not
probably.
wrong. No,
Probably.
no.
Yeah.
No.
It was.
We've had an offer from Bullet Bill to debate Helen DeGenerates that would be something I'd love to see. So
yeah,
Getting into the debating, Bill.
Put your mouth where your fingers are.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
come and have a
I
chat.
quite like that.
Yeah.
So.
Also, because Helen DeGeneres, I think, did the comment before I popped on. The normal comment of how fast we're hurtling through space. Check out Greater Sapien's most recent video. He did the calculations just to show what the centrifugal forces of us spinning and of us orbiting the sun and flying through space, and it's less than what you feel when you go on that one fairground ride that spins so fast you're forced to the back. It's less than 1G. I think it worked out like, I think for the it's obviously less than 1G. Let's say you have a 200-pound adult. The centrifugal force, if they were at the equator, is about it's less than 5 pounds of that is being sort of removed from their weight because of the spin of the earth. That's how little it affects us.
So, I mean, you wouldn't even as a
that's why you don't feel it. It's the same thing as well, because they always do the whole instead of 15 degrees per hour, it's 1,000 miles per hour. I don't know how many flat earthers have never been on a plane, but when you get up to go take a piss, or when you're actually in the act of pissing, depending which way you're facing, it doesn't fly back into your face because you're traveling
500 miles an hour.
If it did, you're pissing wrong, which for a fluff wouldn't surprise me.
What, you mean not into a glass? Is that not?
I love this one from Flatzoid here saying, I weigh the same anywhere I go. But what are you using to weigh yourself? Like some scales from Argos?
How accurate is the scales?
Go up to the top of a fucking decent sized mountain and weigh yourself there, and you're going to weigh less. Well, it's hard because obviously, you could kind of factor in, depending how you got there, I think caloric intake and how much you've eaten. But if you take a weight that weighs exactly 100 grams or something, on the scale, and take the same weight and the same scales, up to the top of the mountain, that weight is going to weigh less because it's further away from Earth's center, so there's less gravitational pull on it. It's not a huge amount of difference, I think when we get up to like is it when you get up to about 100 kilometers, it goes from 9.8 meters per second squared to like 9.5, I think that's it. I forget, but yeah, it's not a huge difference, but there is a difference, and we have measured it, and this is how we know things.
I suppose that's why the people in the ISS, their bone density goes down, doesn't it? And things like that, like where they're just basically not having to.
I think, they have to do a rigorous exercise routine to keep their muscles. I think, just because because they're at microgravity, aren't they? Because of the fall of, it's in a constant fall. It's not zero gravity because they're in space. It's microgravity because of the fall around the Earth.
Yeah.
But
Helen DeGenerates here. Everything in Globetardia is you don't feel it or you don't see it.
That's how acceleration and deceleration works. That's what you feel.
I want to point on you don't see it. I mean, there's pictures like, look at Mr. 42 here. Like, there's the curve. Like, it's there.
Yeah,
it's there, mate. Like.
The reason you don't see it is because, like when you're on ground level and shit like that, is just because we're just so small. If you're looking at the horizon, at sea level, what's it? It's like 3.3 miles of horizon, I think, roughly. So it's well over 16,000 feet. More than that, and you're trying to distinguish from a side angle, what, like 1.5 2 foot of fucking Earth curve?
Yeah, but
it's ridiculous. It's like what 0.0001% or some shit.
But yeah,
that's it. Wait, yes. It took me a minute.
There's the curve. Like
what
Flatzoid
happened?
time where curve.
That's the whole. That's the whole world.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Actually, on I'm gonna call out just again. Helen Degenerates, you're talking a lot of crap in the chat. Lots of people are calling you out. I'm calling you out right now as well. I will debate you on this channel, and for quite a lot of the time, you've just ignored me. I've even added you, and you just haven't said anything. So really, there's
also
nothing
the flirt
behind
way,
you.
isn't it? If you
absolutely
haven't
nothing.
got a good comeback, you deny or ignore.
Yeah.
That's the flat Earth way.
But like,
I'll be putting out another video tomorrow evening on good old Oakley, and in it I'm going to once again invite him out of his echo chamber or safety bubble to debate me, because you know, if he truly believes the shit he's peddling and is that confident in it, you know, why isn't he up for a debate?
Oh my God, Flatzoid thinks that everything is CGI. That's sad.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Mage, what about Mage, Flatzoid? Was that CGI?
Yeah, what about the photos that, you know, the amount of photos in the 24-hour period that Himawari 8 takes, oh God, I don't know, but like fucking almost 100 or maybe more than 100 fucking pictures of the entire Earth. Well, actually, maybe it's the entire Earth once or twice an hour, and it's Japan every 10 minutes. Either way, do you know how hard it would be to be fucking CGIing these things like as they're expected to be turned out? The only changes they ever make to the photos are to either put them together or composite them based on the electronic data that's sent through. It's the same thing as you sending someone a picture on your phone. It is getting translated by technology to show that picture on your phone. Is that CGI?
Is it FTFT or FTFE that has the is the CGI or not? Is that FTFE?
I don't know. Creepy Blinder's got the CGI.
Yeah, but so somebody recently has started basically when it could be MC Toon as well, but somebody recently when, you know, Flurfs have started saying, you know, CGI, he's gone, okay, well, we're going to do a test. Here's some photos. You're going to tell me which ones are CGI and which ones aren't. Some are and some are not. And they can't do it. They get them all wrong. And he's like, so how do you think you know? You don't.
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah. They've never brought like an expert who brought on Red's Rhetoric, didn't he? Brought on that actual guy, who's like worked on fucking great proper CGI films and won awards for that shit. And you know,
can any of you drop the link?
Yeah,
sorry, can any of you drop the link for the chat, the live chat in the actual chat, just in case Flatzoid or anyone wanted to just jump on now? Yeah. It's so easy to sit there saying like, "Oh, you're this, you're that."
Oh, for the
globe zealots.
Also, we're not here proving anything. We're having a laugh at idiots. Yeah.
Oh, can I add as well? Actually, line you play.
Yeah.
So I think what you're talking about with weighing yourselves on mountains and things like that.
Yeah.
One thing that you could do, which is really, really cool, and there's two things that you could do. One to do with gravity, one to do with centrifugal force. Which is quite a cool little proof of things, but they're difficult to do because the change is very, very subtle. So you need like a pretty sensitive balance, something like that. Mm-hmm. But you can measure the mass of something, or well, the weight, I should say, on, you know, just normal ground level. And I think FTFE, I don't know where he's got this video from, but there's a scientist that has a very accurate set of scales and weighs a mass and then weighs the same mass, but puts a heavy sort of lead weight underneath it. And it makes it weigh ever so slightly more because there's more mass under it. So the strength of gravity is a little bit more.
I'll just jump in. We literally do have Flatzoid has jumped on. What I do not want this to become is like 5 people jumping on one person and suddenly being like everyone's shouting and like, I know it's fun, but
I'll make a cup of tea actually anyway.
Yeah, like Flatzoid, you're welcome on, mate. Like everyone else, please.
We'll
Like,
be
let's just
nice.
talk cordially.
Mm-hmm. All right, ready? Lynch him. No,
Flatzoid, I've just added you to the stream, mate.
you're muted though, Flatzoid. I think it automatically has you muted in StreamYard. You got to click the mute thing at the bottom, unless you didn't want to unmute yourself yet.
Yeah, you're on the stream, Flatzoid, if you can hear. Yeah, you're on the stream, mate. So yeah, you're more than welcome. The link did get dropped there, so
Hi.
I'm
Yes,
really
sorry,
glad
it's
you
just,
actually hit, mate. So
yeah, so it's just lagging.
Oh, hello.
Badly. So it's just
Sorry?
lagging badly.
hello. So
Oh, it's lagging. All right, yeah, you say it's lagging badly.
So I mean, I'll ask a question if I may. I mean, like when I was a flat earther, I believed.
I'm just
like,
gonna go out and back in.
Okay.
Maybe as well mention that you have to pause or mute the YouTube chat and watch the StreamYard's chat because there is a time difference with those.
Oh, he'll know that. He will know that.
Oh yeah, cool,
Like,
cool.
He's been on plenty of streams. Yeah. Should be there. Should be there. Rachy 5-0s. What do we make it? 5-2 at least, and have another flat earther on here. That'd be quite cool. Again, Flatzoid, mate, you should be in the stream. Hopefully you can hear us all right. Yeah, I'd like to speak to you about these, how we can't prove the globe. But yeah, how are you doing, Mr. 42? Are you okay? I like your
Yeah.
hat.
I'm doing just fine. I'm getting a bit warm. I actually.
He should be doing all right. I mean, in like a week and a half, he's jumped from double-digit subs to 530. He's beating me by almost 200 at the moment.
Is
So,
that a bit of bitterness?
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No, I
And
said,
by the way,
I
I did give him a shout out in my video.
yeah, we are. Oh, thanks, buddy. We are doing like the battle to 1K, but yeah, I couldn't be fussed. It would be awesome if we both hit 1,000 subs before or during our birthday live stream that we're doing on the 19th of June, 3 days after my birthday and the day before Mr. 42's birthday. So everyone be there, and you know, it'll be on Mr. 42's channel, because even though he's got me beating subs, I'm killing him in watch time hours. So
you were for sure, but are you still sure about it?
I don't know, man.
5-hour live stream.
Is yours getting?
After that live stream, dude, I bet he's kept quiet and he's like, no, mate. Like
He did really good from that live stream, I think, didn't you? In the end.
Yeah, I got some hours in there.
Yeah.
I'm currently on. Let me check. I have no idea.
I think I should be at 900 now. Maybe still a bit under.
How do you
what,
find
you're
that?
900 hours?
Yeah, a few watch
That's
time.
pretty good. That's good, man. That's really
That
good.
is good.
How do I find these things out?
What happened with
Go
Flatzoid?
into. I find it easier to do on
YouTube
the
Studio.
phone. Yeah, YouTube Studio, and then you can click on watch time hours, and then you change it to lifetime. Oh my goodness, 948.5. I'm almost a quarter of a way towards my 4,000 bloody hours that I need.
Flatzoid. Are you on? How are you connected? Are you using data, or are you? How are you?
Yeah, just keep trying. Sometimes just try other ways. The link's there, you've got it. So keep trying. If not, though, again, always welcome. We can set something up where there's a time and a date. Yeah.
No rush.
And like I say, I hope you know that we would at least try our best to not pounce on you and shit. Like there has been a little bit of this involved.
We're respectable.
Yeah,
May
like
I answer one question from chat? Well, it's not a question. Liam Wakefield is asking you to make me say something in Russian, and I will just say, Liam, watch my next video.
yeah.
Is your next video all in Russian?
No, not all in Russian. No, it is totally understandable for English people, except for a little part, and that's what you want to hear, apparently. So there you go.
Roll Mops says, Deadly Dave, is that a python in your trousers? Oh, sorry, on your jumper.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna. It certainly is. Hang on, I'll see if I can. There you go.
Wow, I'm one of the ones that get that joke. That's terrible.
Yes, it's awesome. It is awesome.
Python.
That
For those
is
that don't
exactly
know,
the,
Python is a programming language.
Yes,
So,
that is
My webcam
that
is
is
in
the
Python.
programming code, that removes your background and turns you into a hologram, isn't it? 42?
Yeah, that's in Python.
Oh, well, there you go. I can. I mean, Dave certainly can, but I can code a little bit of Python. So.
I'm learning Python a little bit now. That's what I was doing in college when I was in the States. This was this was like 2 decades ago. So I was doing C++, and also a bit of like HTML, JavaScript, and Cobalt. But because I've been out of the game for a very long time, and I didn't finish my degree, but I've always liked programming, so I've decided to try and learn Python as a hobby. It's quite nice. It's quite intuitive. Most
Python's
programming languages, are just fairly they're all pretty much the same, aren't they? The code based.
Well, it depends.
Learning
when
the correct syntax.
Yeah, but that's actually where Python and C++ will have a major difference between them in how they work. Python is a compiled language. C++ is a compiled language and Python is not. Python is an interpreted language. So they do work extremely differently. And while I'm a huge Python fan, I also know when it has and hasn't got its place. And if you're programming a microcontroller or something like that, like, I don't know, one of these guys or something, if you're programming something like that, you can use Python, but Python is around 100 times slower than C++ and about 200 times slower than C.
Damn.
Yeah, so it really depends on what you're doing and how you're doing it. Now, MicroPython is getting much better all the time, and Python really is taking over the world. It's awesome. I love Python. But yeah, it really does depend on what you want to do. Unless, of course, you want to get into assembly programming, which you don't.
No.
That's your Arduino you're showing off.
No, I think most of it is just to mess about with stuff at home. But I don't know, maybe I will start looking back at C++ and stuff again. I really did. I enjoyed it when I was doing that at school. And I wish I would have finished my degree, to be fair.
Well,
because I definitely would have liked to have learned more.
Do you know that Harvard at the moment are offering courses online, right? They have their courses online. They have programming courses and all that sort of stuff. They're kind of starting at the moment as well, right?
Is it free? Because that's about my price bracket at the moment.
You see, this is what they're doing, which is really cool. It's free if you just want to follow along. Then if you want to follow along and you want to get access to the course material, like the exercise files and stuff, and you want them to correct it and stuff, then there's one price you pay. And if you want to get all of that, plus you want to get certified at the end, then there's another price you pay. But if you just want to follow along with the course, you can do that. And it's really good quality stuff. Really good quality stuff.
I will definitely have a look at that. Thank you.
Say again, Bill?
Into my search bar for later.
There are a lot of resources out there for free. I mean, even just YouTube. I mean, YouTube, granted, is hit and miss. And I'm actually at the moment for my work, because I'm a developer like Dave. I'm learning.
I'm not a developer anymore.
Which is PHP and stuff like that. And there's a series online which I'm doing. And it's very, very good. Sometimes they do assume knowledge. Then they'll say, "Oh, well, of course you do this, this, and that." And I think, "What on earth have you just done?" But it's one of those things.
Nice.
I have a link to your channel, Flatzoid. Do you want a link to my channel? Everyone's a link to my channel. My channel has not got debunking or flat earth or any kind of that content. You can have it if you want. I'll get it for you.
STST, I have an idea. What if we all leave and leave Deadly Day for 10 minutes?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Come here,
Oh,
I'm not
classic.
afraid.
Yeah, Deadly Dave will handle it. You know, he's got the balls to correct Simon Dan, man. Doing a stream's
Yeah.
nothing. Doing a stream's nothing.
I think we should get Del on, then all.
No!
No.
God, the stream just got a lot prettier, didn't it?
It kind of reminds me of Mr. 42. That last stream when I left, STST just left, and he. Poor guy.
That is what I was referring to, yeah.
That was brilliant.
And then a few days later, I did a live stream for 5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, he's found his groove now. 5-hour live stream. I'll tell you what, mate, like if we hit the 1,000 sub mark, Mr. 42, I think we should start doing at least one 24-hour live stream each week just to hit that 4,000 hours quick, you know?
Oh, you're fucking crazy.
I might start doing who's that chick that's always like putting out videos of her slagging people off on Omegle or whatever it is, Omegle. Like I'll just do a live stream of me sleeping, you know, and shit like that, just to get the hours up. There's gonna be some nutter out there that will watch it.
There was a guy I knew, and his actually channel's doing pretty good now. He's nearly up to about 10,000 subscribers, but it's called the Vegan Realist, and he's actually an ex-flat earther as well. He's not really involved in this community very much, but you know, he's come to me before and said, you know, I'm an ex-flat earther, and he mentions it sometimes on his channel. But I remember when he'd reached 1,000 and was like, oh, you know, literally he labeled his live stream like road to 4K watch hours, and you know, literally might have just been. I think sometimes he probably just left his phone and a tablet and something else running, and you know, within like a month he hit the numbers, and I was like, no, that's not going to work. And then suddenly, like 2 days later, he was monetized, and I was like, you bugger! I've been waiting for months, like literally. I'm not being funny. Like my highest peak time when my views were at their most was when YouTube like wasn't monetizing me. And I didn't really care at the time, but now when I've kind of looked back and thought, shit, like, and even now, like the one video, I think it's nearly up to about 170,000 views.
Damn.
That is like me saying, like, you know, I'm leaving Flat Earth. That's my only video that is demonetized. Like, and I'm looking at it and like, I don't know why, because I still get like 1,000 views a week. Like, so I'm like, fuck's sake, like the one video that I could have actually made something out of, they demonetized it.
You should like appeal it, dude. Like there's no reason they should demonetize that. It's you saying that you're coming back to reality type thing, you know.
What might work better than appealing it is just to re-upload it. It has a new ID, then it's a new video.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
because most of those views come from that meme, if you know what I mean, because that's like the one that people search for when they go on YouTube, the meme from Reddit, if you know what I mean, because so many comments are like, who's here from Reddit? Who's here from Reddit? And I'm sure I've probably got about 4,000 people that click subscribe on me, but then kind of notifications came up and they're like, well, who the hell's this? And then kind of never watched the videos. And so I kind of wish that, like, I don't know, I've still got such a good basis to go from this channel, though. You know, there's 58 people sitting here now. That's amazing.
Let's put it this way, though, see. There are also a lot of people that would have clicked subscribed, that would have liked your content and kept on coming back. You know, so you're always going to get that, even if you had even if the Reddit thing didn't exist or the Simon Dan chat or what have you. You're still going to get people that on just on an impulse will subscribe, and then later will think, actually, I don't like this guy's video, and they'll unsubscribe. You know, happens all the time. I don't think that's necessarily really anything bad. It just means that it was a bit of a sort of hype thing, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not taking
I think a lot of it now as well, it comes down to not enough hours in the day. Like I don't get to watch every video that every channel I enjoy puts out, like at all, nowhere near now, because I mean, God, you know, like I spend most of my hours each day trying to make my own bloody videos. You know, I just don't have the time. You know, like, the people that actually start these like things up while still working a full-time job, I'm well impressed, because like I literally I wouldn't be able to fit it in. You know,
I think to make good videos, you do need to be really involved in the community. You know, you need to be having back and forths with, say, someone like Flatzoid, or you know, you've got to be quite heavily involved, getting these supposed big names, mentioning your name. I mean, as soon as you do step away, actually, for like a week or two, and I've come back, and you know, I'm not really going to bring all that crap up, but there's a lot of stuff going on with doxing, isn't there? And you know, there's a side to this community that I really just don't want to be involved with. You know, I just want to sit here, have a laugh, drink a few beers, and yeah, you know, it's just kind of.
Speaking of, I'll be right back.
People. It really does show you, though, that there's, like Dave said with that poll earlier, 60% of people still saying like, oh yeah, Simon Dan's right, without really double checking. You know, there's bad people everywhere. Like, we can't look around this globe community and be like, oh, everyone's a saint, everyone's like.
If I remember the answer choices, it's not technically saying he's right, it was saying he's not wrong. You know, fine line. You got to remember verbiage. That can get you in a lot of shit on YouTube as well.
verbiage, mate.
Yeah.
Then let me pick you up on that. Let me pick you up on the verbiage. The answer to the question is yes.
All right, I need a beer.
I like this one. Roll mops. That's the thing for you, isn't it? Feeling like you're one of the select few who has seen through the lies and deception makes you feel special. Yeah, I can concur to that, to be honest. I felt special. I wanted to feel special, and I found Flat Earth, and it made me feel special. And you don't realise, as Flerspective mentioned, like you please, Flatzoid, I hope you're not losing people in your real life, in the IRL, because that's just silly. And for any flat earther listening, if they are, that's where the problem is. It's not on YouTube. It's in your own life. You know, it's what it affects, the ripple waves that it causes, the people you push away. So yeah, mate, I don't have any problem with people that believe the earth is flat. I really don't. I don't care. But I know what it does to the people around you, and that's what I'm here for. So yeah, if you're just a guy that doesn't really, you know what I mean? Like, but
I don't have a problem with a flat earther in general, but like, you know, if they kept it to themselves, maybe, you know, but I do have a problem with flat earthers that pick up, you know, the other people that are susceptible to conspiracy theories, you know, because it's wasting their, like, you know, time in their lives. And like the flat earthers that I've seen on videos where they're you know, they're bringing up their kids to believe the earth is flat, that to me borders on child abuse, really, you know. I mean, it's all right to live in your own little delusional world, but to enforce it on your kids,
I would say, yeah, that's that's intellectual child abuse.
Yeah.
If that's the thing. But
definitely.
Go on, Dave.
If that's child abuse, then, excuse me, I can't even pronounce it. I'm so excited. If that's child abuse, do we also need to then consider lying to your kids about magic sky daddies?
Yep.
That's
yes,
so
but not Santa. You know, I see, and religion is a tough one, isn't it? Because
why?
I think there can be a lot of good that comes from it. You know, I mean, I was raised religious, and you know, it gives you some community, and you know, it can make some people behave.
Right, debate night, Limey Play versus Deadly Dave is.
But the community that you get from the religious stuff, that's not from religion that you're getting that community. You're getting that community from the people around you. If we didn't pretend
you're going to, so it is from the religion. You meet them at church.
Sure, but if we didn't have religion, those people would still go someplace to meet.
If we didn't have religion, a lot of those people would be staying indoors depressed. I think a lot of people would not be able to hack life if they didn't have that fantasy.
I think the thing I would say is that, and the point Dave was making, and I'd agree with this as well, is that what a lot of parents will do, and for some reason in society, this has become almost like acceptable and almost like a natural thing, is that let's say if I'm a Christian father, then I will force my children to be Christian and to go to church, things like that. Now that I disagree with, you know, if they grow up and they find out about Christianity and they decide that's what they want to believe, that's completely fine. But I think enforcing your own beliefs on your children is incredibly irresponsible.
But there are many levels of religion.
Sorry, Mr. 42.
Yeah,
sorry,
there's
mate,
many levels of religion. On the low end, you have the believer that go once a week to church and stays at home, leaves the religion at home. And on the other end, you have a Matt Powell or a Dr. Dino. There's so many levels in between.
That's Mr. Dino. He's not a real doctor.
So
Irish Demon is a doctor now.
Yeah, I saw.
Is he?
He's also gone soft it. If you want,
sorry guys. I just need to call this Flatzoid FE comment. So you don't find it's child abuse to teach children that we have a globe that's only based in belief. That is very hypocritical.
Again, it's not based in belief. It's established.
It is based in belief. But what I find very hypocritical is the fact that you deleted 11 frames out of that video. So I can still, to me, that is evidence that you are not even a flat earther. That you've fraudulently taken away evidence.
Yeah, that was Flatzoid, yeah.
Multiple times lying about race.
I didn't realize it was wow.
So those of you in the chat that aren't aware of this, so Red's Rhetoric had a video of, I can't remember which rocket it was, going up, and then what was it coming to? I was making a point of explaining it, and now I can't remember anything about it. I think it was
basically what happened.
Down. Yeah, and
the way he edited it was to make it look like the I literally
when the rocket came down, there was a slight delay between when you lose sight of the rocket and the impact of the ground, because it was going over the curve, and that's the whole idea. So what Flatzoid did was he edited out that tiny little gap so that it appeared that as soon as the rocket reached where you could see, reached the horizon, it then crashed. To make it appear like there isn't a curve, and
that's very deliberate.
Thankfully, Red's Rhetoric immediately called him out, and so I think that's the point. So, I mean, if you're lying, if Flatzoid, if you are someone who has proven to manipulate evidence and lie, then why should we believe anything that you say? Yeah. Answer me that. Why should we believe anything you say when you are a proven liar?
It literally isn't just me and Bullet Bill saying it. There is physical evidence out there.
Should we get the video up right now for these? Because he'll probably deny this. Let's get the video up right now. Because
I'm sorry, I didn't realise there was somebody else sitting in the waiting room. Roll Mops, I'm about to add you to the stream if you are there. So you're now being added. Sorry, I didn't see you were there before. How are you?
No worries. Am I okay volume-wise? Because
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
mate.
it was just about the children and flat Earth thing. Is something that really drives me insane. That without going into details, like in my growing up, I did have some experience with that unhealthy relationships and all that, and that basically the flat Earth thing does the same thing that any abusive person tries to do to their victim. It's basically convincing the child that the entire world is against them, that they can't trust anybody. So whenever they're in a pickle, they're almost never, well, they can't trust a stranger to ask them for help.
Yes.
They're completely isolated.
Yeah.
Getting acquainted with people, like making friends, is a lot more difficult. And on top of that, if your parent, which is almost a biological imperative for a child to trust, is the only one that has convinced, well, you're convinced that is the only one to tell the truth, they have even more control over what the child does growing up than in a normal, healthy father-son or mother-daughter or whatever relationship. It is like,
Yeah, good.
Comparing to religion, you've got a community around it, and yeah, religion has some issues, but I think the flat Earth thing, the isolation that it brings, and the amount of the completely off whack power dynamic in a very and I'm going to bring up the name of Bev is for me that his son. I know he doesn't want to be brought up, and I'm not saying anything negative, but I consider that a terrible form of child abuse to isolate your child, somebody who will need help at some point, probably. Well, every child needs help, but to isolate them in that way is just abhorrent.
Yeah,
but you know that does happen in religion too.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, that religion has its issues, and I mean, like, if you go to the extremes, you get like, what is it, Westboro Baptist Church? That's basically a family cult. That's batshit insane. Sorry for the language.
Yeah, you're just saying that the flat Earth side of it is worse, which I agree with.
Well, it would probably be on par with the extreme religious stuff, because they
on par with extreme religious, but worse
the
than
same level of isolation and indoctrination and distrust towards society at large is just. It is not giving your child a fair chance in life, in my mind.
Not just that, but see, like that, because it had never even crossed my mind before. Like, I didn't even think of it until some months back, and I saw a video on Be the Change, which was, Nathan Thompson and that Shrek fellow, and they were down the park or whatever, and there was another bloke there, and he's got his kids doing like the whole, like keep it flat thing. And then one of the kids like said to the camera, but we don't tell mum. So
that was
he's
awful.
teaching them to basically lie to their own mother, and he's lying to his wife, fiance, girlfriend, whatever. It's not healthy,
Yeah. I mean, if I'm not kind of saying this is an excuse for anyone that is doing that, but I understand it if they genuinely believe it. Like, if they actually 100% believe that, I can kind of see why they would then tell their children. Like, but I'm not in any way saying it's right.
Yeah,
but I'm
you
kind
can
of
understand. Yeah, because they've got that mindset. So
If they truly believe it, that probably it's where I'm from. I'm not a native English speaker, but we had a saying like the good intentions pave the road to hell. Like, you can have the best of intentions, but that if it becomes dogmatic, you close yourself off for any contradiction, and that you don't, to the point where you don't even allow any dissenting voices to reach the ears of your children, then you just not being skeptical, which is what all flirts like to think of themselves as, questioning things and all that.
Yeah. The only furthers I know that are true critical thinkers have come back to the globe side, and that's STST and Ranty. They follow the truth. But
I just wanted to say a quick thing, and I'll leave you to it. Because I remember seeing Speak Truth, Seek Truth Seek Truth. Dyslexia. Fuck
Doesn't
me.
matter which way, mate. Don't worry.
Just call him.
Yes.
And Ranty actually both to make like a switch from one side to the other that publicly. He actually speaks to strength of character and like integrity, to be that honest, to be brave enough to do that. And you had a moment like that earlier on. Is that flirts are kind of like very often, but I see them as well like that. Quite most of the time, they're a bit of the chew toy of the internet. They're quite funny. They're easily wound up, and they always say the same thing. See, it's kind of like paint by numbers type thing. But like you said something about Flatzoid, that don't lose people in real life. That's something that I think most people tend to forget quite quickly, and that it's actually I really appreciate you kind of bringing it back to the person as well, because that. As much as I enjoy like FTFE streams, which is they're entertaining, but I'm not sure how effective it is to actually reach a person sometimes, or a person he's debating. But well, then that may be not always his first intention. Well, you know what? Sorry, I just finished work and I'm 3 beers in now, so I get really chatty.
Yes.
No,
Love
well
it.
done, well done. Thank you for
Cheers.
coming on. I'd say with FTFE even, I honestly think that as many people that are affected with the friendly approach are helped by the direct "you're wrong, you're an effing idiot." You know, the whole kind of be cool to be kind.
It's good to
so
have that
I honestly
balance.
think it does equal out. But again, you know, horses are courses. We're not gonna like everyone, are we? Or you know, you love what they do, etc. But like, yeah, I totally get that. I've gone through stages myself where I really try to be calm, collective, and try the people call it the Socratic approach. I've learned now. But then like, there's another way where basically I just say, you're being a fucking idiot. And even I can't help that sometimes. And I was one of them, you know, like, and I'm just like, it really does it twists my head. And I put myself first and pull out sometimes and just go, you're being an idiot. I've got to step away. Whereas before I got too emotionally attached. Your points are so great, though. It does need to be brought back to family, your real life. How is it affecting your actual life? Do you still spend as much time with your family? Do you still make sure that you're phoning your mum every Friday? Or do you know what I mean? Like these little things that you don't realize slowly start to slip away. And next thing you know, you've isolated yourself. And Ranty actually in the last stream we did kind of put this perfectly, but you literally suddenly you're sitting in you're sitting in a box and you don't even realize it, and you've got nobody around you that can help you anymore in your actual life. So then you just go online and just seek people that confirm your bias over and over again, and it's just it's false friendship. You know, you have to put your real life first. You know, I would even say that for the globe Earth side as well. You know, like we always have to put our lives first. And honestly, like all the big channels will, Soman Dan, Cats, they will be so on point that they will still do their quality time with their family. They will do everything well. But then they spend the quality time making the video. And yeah, I don't know. I just went on a bit of a drunken run, actually, because that weren't my third. That was my fifth. So,
well, I said, just came off work. I'll catch up.
I would say, you know what? If you are a flat earther, and if that does apply to you, because I seriously doubt, even if there are flat earthers watching this STST, that they're going to say, "Oh, maybe I am spending too much time flat earth." There's no way they're going to admit it on stream, but it might apply to some flat earthers. And if that is, you know what I'd say to that? For once, let's put the shape of the earth, just get rid of it. You know, Just for once, say, you know what? Who cares? Who cares what shape the Earth is? I don't know, because that's what Ranty did. He didn't stop thinking the Earth was flat. He didn't, you know, it wasn't anything like that. He didn't go back to the globe or anything like that. He just said, you know what? Sod it. I'm sick of the argument, and just get away from the whole thing. You know, no more flat Earth videos, no more debunks, no more arguing with people or worrying about what's proof and what's not proof. Just take yourself out of that situation just for a bit, because it will probably help. You know, it would be the same for like if anyone was too obsessed with this community. Because you know what, I've been on Jose's stream, for example, Jose JG. And there are people who are on that every day, you know, and Jose streams for a few hours every day. And I think it's getting to the, and this is Globe Earthers, and it's getting to the point where, you know, you think that's too much time, in my opinion. That doesn't seem very healthy. But I think for most of us, I'm pretty sure that I could speak for all of us in that if I didn't want to join this stream, I would just be no problem. I'd just go and do something else, you know. I'm not that attached to it.
Yeah, I had to join it because otherwise he would have put a hex on me. So I didn't have a choice. He's cursed me. He's cursed me before, and it took me ages to get those frogs out of my linens.
and I had to come on because, you know, I wanted to promote myself.
Your subs have nearly doubled, dude. Yeah, like drop some links, bro. There's like 49 people here. Deadly Dave, I'm going to say it. Deadly Dave called out Simon Dan. And but to be honest, that video Simon Dan made was amazing, because that cleared up actually some little tingling worries I even had about the vaccines. You know, it was such a great, well put together video, and I wouldn't have clocked that he'd made a mistake, but Deadly Dave did, and Simon Dan has already commented on that video saying that he will correct himself in the next video. But yeah, everyone sitting here, I think you should go and give Deadly Dave a little subscribe.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I was looking at some of the stats there when you were talking about the stats earlier on, and of course laughing because, you know, Limey Play, you're talking about thousands of hours, and then I looked at mine. I'm in 2 digits, you know, and low 2 digits. I have 24 hours, mind you. I have 24 hours today, and 2 days ago I had 1.
That's good, though.
Yeah,
that's good.
See, it's all progress, isn't it?
I've been doing this since January, you know, so it takes a while. And excuse me, actually, that kind of brings up a point. So you know, my last 2 videos have been on the auditors, and this one guy I was looking at, like, you know, I think he had 15 videos on his channel before about a year ago, and then he jumped on the UK audit bandwagon, you know, copying the States. And 1 year later, from when he started doing his channel in earnest, he has 110,000 subscribers. So I think very soon I'm gonna throw my fucking morals in the bin, and I'm just gonna become a fucking softset, you know, because
I don't want to hate you.
Decent people can't make it in this world anymore. You've got to be a prick if you want to survive.
Thing is, I would actually rather not survive.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way too, but you know, I don't know.
Just need to address Flatzoid saying disgusting act. You just did STST by timing me out for defending myself. I didn't time you out, mate. I haven't timed you out at all. Yeah. Mods, please give people a chance. Obviously, if they swear or they're horrible, please do boot. But it's all fun. We're all human. Rachy 50 and Flatzoid FE, within a year or two, if they do think, you know, what's the word?
Let them talk. Let them talk, guys. They're probably saying things that are annoying. They're probably saying things that have been said before. But frankly, that's not a very good reason to time out people. If we're not going to let flat earthers speak, then it's not. Aside from obviously Gary.
It was Marcus Weston, and he already said it was
if you
by
start
accident.
copy pasting, then you're just getting booted. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we say a lot of the same stuff as well when we're debunking, because there is only so much you can say. Eventually, you are gonna recycle some of your material. Obviously, we've got a lot more to choose from because our claim is real, but you gotta get used to hearing some of the same stuff. I would say that to any flat earther, if you want to be true to yourself, and that you're trying to follow the truth, I would definitely start watching Greater Sapiens series he's doing on Dubé's 200 proofs, which is really more like, I don't know, probably less than 50 non-proofs, because a lot of them are just the same but worded different. Just for research, and then make your own determination. Also, watch my video coming out tomorrow where we talk angular resolution.
We're gonna do promotions now.
I am. Yeah. You don't need to.
I'm gonna jump on the Pratt wagon.
I mean, the Pratt wagon.
Well, what do you want about Mr. 42? I'm not doing any promotions at all. I mean, except...
Oh dear.
I think maybe we should we play that video, Bullet Bill? Sorry, mate. Should we play that video, Bullet Bill, of the 11 frames missing? We kind of mentioned that, and then we deviated, and I think
about it. Of course.
Do that. It's quite long, so we'd have to find the sort of relevant,
Oh, I get you. Yeah.
But, may I just quickly say to the chat, I didn't notice you there, Fortnite. It's good to see you. He'll know who he is.
Is that your lover?
No, it's Copper Wasp's. It's Copper Wasp's new nickname because he hates Fortnite or something. I can't 100% be sure why I started calling him it, but I think
can still tell you Fortnite. Because he found a very old Fortnite skin with the same name.
That's it.
Yes.
Alien X Gaming, don't make me time you out. Oh dear.
Dave, might I ask? So I think Simon Dan said something like, they've made a microchip 2 nanometers across. Is that correct? Is that what they said?
Yep. That's what Dan had said, because he came across it on an article, and in fairness, it wasn't Dan's fault. The article did at the top of it say that IBM have released a chip that is 2 nanometers in size, but that's just completely not right.
It's probably a typo, and it was meant to be millimeters.
No,
it wouldn't even be millimeters, was it? Because it was a processing chip, wasn't it?
It's clickbait. The thing is that what we're talking about process nodes, and AMD and Intel and ARM have been fighting over process node size for ages, and there's probably a couple of others in there as well. And we've been, we were on 28 nanometer nodes, and then we moved down to 14 nanometer, and then 10 nanometer, and then 7 nanometer. And one of the reasons at the moment that AMD are kicking the pants off Intel is they were faster to move down to the 7 nanometer process node than Intel were. Intel are very slow getting there. And this is all just about the size, basically, of the gate of the transistor for the transistors used inside the chip. Now, the really unfortunate thing is
what's the gate? Up until
the gate. So, do you know what a transistor is?
Yeah.
So, the gate is the point which controls the flow through the transistor, basically. Normally with your transistor, you have your 3 pins, and the gate pin is the pin that it's like the tap. So you know how much current is allowed to flow through the transistor is determined by your gate.
Okay.
And this gate,
I'm not very electrically.
Gate,
I'm not good with hardware.
That's all right. Not a lot of people are at this level, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's quite a
build
low
a computer, but I don't know all the names for shit. But that's awesome. So sorry to interrupt you.
But yeah, no, that's cool. But so the process nodes used to be named by the size of the gate. So on the 28 nanometer process node, the gates were 28 nanometers wide, and then that was scaling down for a while. But now they've started changing how they're doing the gates, and now marketing has slipped in as well now. And now 2 nanometers doesn't necessarily mean 2 nanometers wide anymore either, even if it did. But the problem that Dan ran into with his particular video was that the chip that they were talking about, the IBM chip, that's their next, I think it's their next mobile processor chip. And that chip, as they said themselves, is going to be about the size of a fingernail. So in comparison to, the scales we were talking about, it's massive. It's about 50,000 times larger than the size that we were thinking it was. But the reason for that is just simply that it's their 2 nanometer chip, but the internal pieces are going to be nicknamed 2 nanometers wide because they're not even 2 nanometers wide anymore. But the internals are 2 nanometers wide, each of the transistors inside these process nodes. But the chip itself is going to have to be much larger because the chip contains 50 billion of these transistors. 50 billion in the chip that size. It's insane.
It's not.
Actually, can I share my screen? Because I've got something that might get across like how big and small these sizes are.
Go for it, dude.
Right, okay. So if right, okay. So this thing, I absolutely love this. I'll put the link in the chat in a second, but it's something that University of Utah put up. And you've got things, basically lots and lots of things that tells you how big they are. So we've obviously got millimeters like grains of rice. And if we zoom in, then we've got amoeba, cells. So that little funny U shape. Now, Dave, remind me what that is. That mu?
Yeah, mu.
Mu, yeah. So that means micrometers.
Micro, yeah. It's
in millimeter. And you go all the way down to red blood cells, chromosomes, bacteria. And these viruses, we measure them in nanometers. So nanometers, there's 1,000 nanometers in 1 micrometer. And then we go all the way down to a carbon atom. So what's chip...
PM?
PM is picometer. So there's 1,000 picometers in a nanometer. So if this chip really was 2 nanometers, so that would be less than the length of the hemoglobin molecule, which would just be incredibly small.
Oh my god.
So,
but some of these components, that are part of this chip are that small, aren't they?
Yeah, and how they make it is actually
50 billion.
Little cartoon drawing.
It's like them old Japanese guys that the people. Have you ever seen it? Like they use like a microscope and they do these amazing bits of artwork on a grain of rice. So it's just taking it the stage further, and now they got some robot carving the fucking Sistine Chapel into a pinky.
Yeah, but it's actually not even how it works. How it works is really interesting. What they do is they use mask layers. So if you imagine your little chip is sitting here.
I was hoping shrink ray.
Well, it's not that far off it. You have we'll say your little chip is here above it, and then there's down here, and then you have this mask over it, and the mask has a certain cutout shape in it, and then they shine light down on the mask, and then the light then comes through in a certain shape down onto the chip, and obviously the mask brings it down to a focal point, and what happens then is that what they inject onto it then, and it depends on the kind of what you're shining on it, but you either you dope the silicon, and then by doping the silicon you cause it to behave in different ways. So you're not physically touching the chip at all to make the chip. It's by mask layers and shining stuff down onto the
that is so
chip.
Cool.
It's bonkers.
I've got to look for a video of that. That's got to be.
Can I just say I understood every single word of what Dave just said, and it's it's fascinating.
So did I, and I'm thick.
I mean, don't ask me questions because I already know the answer. I don't want to waste
That's the
anyone's
thing, like,
time.
I really love actually with Limey play. Like you seem like, I'm not being funny, but you look, you come across a bit of a lad, but you're so intelligent, dude.
Don't ruin my street cred. No, I mean, I'd like to think I'm there. I like literally up until my parents got divorced, I was this posh speaking private school lad, and then when they got divorced, I got pushed into the public school system, and the rest of us into a much smaller house. And yes, I learned how to speak common, but I also know how to speak like refined individuals. That's my sales voice. But yeah, it's
refined individual.
Yeah, it's been 3 decades of mostly growing up in one of the most chavvy parts of England, I think, really. So, it was a wake up call,
Oh, well, you've done well, I think, mate. You've done very well with yourself. I'm actually proud of you. Do you know what I mean? I don't, I've never actually met you, but I feel a bit proud of you, to be honest.
Oh,
so,
how cute.
Well, we will meet soon once this lockdown's over, and I'm starting to have some great ideas for, because what's not too far away from me? The most haunted village in England, Pluckley. And wherever there's a good ghost story, there's some history. Yeah, Pluckley. It might. When I was a kid, it was the most haunted village in England. I don't know if it still is. It might have been knocked off the throne by, I don't know, some other place, but
I think every county has got the most haunted place in England, if you know what I mean.
That's just because it's like England's such an old place, isn't it? We've had so many. Basically, a long time ago, the landmass of England dissolved. We are literally now an island of corpses. It's just an entanglement of death holding it all together. It's quite scary, really, when you think about it.
Is that accurate? Yeah.
Well,
citation.
Fucking look.
I'm learning, Dave. I'm learning.
These Smurfs don't have to provide accurate citation. Yeah, I have a citation. Jeff told me. And everyone knows Jeff never lies.
Oh yeah, cool. Now I now 100% believe you, Limey play, and that's how a flat earther.
You know why I use the name Jeff? Because I actually don't know any Jeffs. That is a name that I've never met a Jeff.
I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna one up you, Limey play. I've got a quote from the Daily Mail. So
yeah,
that's nailed it right there.
Yeah.
Can I bring up something? Sorry, just in
the Pluckley Ghost Walk, England's most haunted village. So every county may have that story, but Kent's not lying.
But my version is right.
Yeah, basically.
Because reasons.
This one is definitely the most haunted. Like there are other haunted places, but this one is the most haunted. No, I do love it. Like, I'm not gonna just sit there and laugh. Like sometimes late at night and it's dark, I sit there and think, oh no, please, I deny these ghosts, but still think I hope one don't jump out at me and pull me trousers down at night.
See, I kind of like I loved the whole ghost thing growing up. I used to read a lot of books on it and stuff. And because of this one explanation that I've read, I still kind of think that that ghosts are quite possible. Because this one put it down to, because everything's energy, isn't it? Everything's like electrical current and all that stuff. And this one book described it as the reason that ghosts are always doing the same thing is because of whatever horrible thing happened, it created such an amount of energy at the moment of their death that it created almost like a video recording, you know, in that area. And, you know, obviously it doesn't make much logical sense, but I think that's the best description I've heard with current science in, you know. And so, yes, the world is not flat, but ghosts are real. And I've got to go play football with Casper after this stream.
Oh, no, I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. You know, I kind of feel like I'm so trying to be of like real critical mind. I'm not going to believe in something without evidence.
You shouldn't.
I don't think there's any or has ever been any real evidence of ghosts.
Have you not seen Poltergeist 1, 2, 3 and the remake? They wouldn't have made a remake if ghosts weren't real. Actually, that was Poltergeist. They wouldn't have remade Ghostbusters if ghosts weren't real.
Hollywood ghosts are real, but not real life ghosts.
Yeah, you know, maybe it's just like a, you know how, because like there's certain things, isn't there, where like stuff was just twisted, you know, like vampires came from another sort of myth, and so maybe ghosts just come from a lot of really so pale people that they were almost transparent. I think that ghosts came from gingers.
I'll just step in. I think we should go round and actually ask, like, what do people believe in? So, Bullet Bill, what do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Father Christmas?
No.
How dare you?
Can you explain why you don't believe in ghosts?
Because I believe that once you die, you're dead. Your body eventually goes, your brain stops working, so do your eyes, so do your senses. So that's
where's
it.
the energy
There's no reason to believe. I don't think there's a soul exists as well. I think that's just a product of our consciousness. So yeah, there's
I have an
arsehole. I'm pretty sure. And there's not really been any evidence of ghosts. It's just it all comes down to stories and odd little things in photos that could be anything. So I think it's all a load of BS, quite frankly. So yeah.
Deadly Dave?
Sure. So it's very cut and dry for me. Quite simply, I don't like to take things that I have to believe. There's evidence and I'll accept it. There's no evidence and I don't. And it's that simple. And I'm not saying that just because there's no evidence, it's not true. What I'm saying is that there's a lot of things for me to be getting on with my life with. And things that have no evidence for them is not one of those things. So if somebody can go and present evidence for something, go for it. But I mean, do you guys know James Randi?
I literally was about to say James Randi.
Yeah, like
we just won the $1 million.
He basically proves there's no such thing. There's no way at the moment to prove that there's any supernatural. That's what James Randi proved. And there just isn't. So until we have some sort of evidence that there is some supernatural stuff, then we're just doing the same as any of the other pseudoscientific things we give out about. It's simple. How we know, we know through testing and evidence and the results that have been produced through predictability, we know that science is an extremely effective method for discerning what is and isn't real about reality, true about reality. And we have discerned that with an extremely high accuracy. We wouldn't come to the point and say it's 100%. Of course it isn't. If science was 100%, it would stop. But what we do have is a very, very strong understanding that this method works. And if it's outside of that method, unless you can give some really compelling reason as to why this method outside of the scientific method should be used, then I'm not interested. And if there is scientific evidence, great, let's hear it. If there isn't.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that during Deadly Dave's TED Talk just then, David Oliver said in the chat that tampons are Dracula's tea bags, and that's why I went into a fit of uncontrollable hysteric. So I wasn't laughing at you, Dave. I was
That's okay, laugh
laughing.
away.
I was laughing at Dracula's tea bags.
I love here though. I just need to mention how Helen DeGeneres is agreeing with us. You know, kind of laughing at when James Randi. There was this guy James Hydrick, and he was like trying to move the yellow pages with his hands, and you know he was just blown.
Oh,
And so
that's like the. All right, so Eric,
you're not all gone, Helen.
Eric DeBay's got videos on his channel all about, you know, the like psychic powers and all that stuff, and he's got those people that, you know, they put a little folded bit of paper on top of a, you know, like a nail or something, and then they spin it. Now that is like so easy to fake, like, you know, and it's been shown, and actually you don't even need to fake it without a bowl over it. You can just do it with your hands, because of the heat radiating off your hands. It will actually warm the air, and it will make it spin a little bit. But you have to set up quite a decent fake rig if you're going to do it with a bowl over the top. But yes, this is something that has been amazingly debunked, and he's putting that on his channel. So, you know, it kind of just lets you know that either he's just all out, you know, maybe he's faking everything and he's planning for his next book on the psychic world, or, you know, he's just even more gullible than we think.
Yeah. One thing I thought earlier, actually, and I'll be interested to hear your guys' perspective, is, you know, there's this kind of with flat earthers, oh, do they really believe it? Do they not? We don't know. But I was thinking that with, say, you know, say mediums and people that will say, you know, they might go to a local pub and get like 20 people turn up and they've all paid £10 to get in. It's like 200 quid a night. And they're like saying, oh, I'm going to connect with one of your family members. And do they really believe that they are connecting with family members, or do they know?
No, I think most of them are frauds, you know. And why is it always mediums? Like, I've gone up to a double extra large since lockdown, and, you know, so I'm even more steps away from being able to contact the dead now, you know.
Can I just say as well, I've been watching Helen DeGeneres in chats. It's very, very entertaining. And the funny thing is pull the classic flat earther, which is, oh, they're lying, that's fake, you know, that's definitely not that, that's ridiculous. But as soon as someone says, okay, how actually is it? What shape is the, you know, asking them questions, all of a sudden it turns into a completely different game of like, oh, I don't have a model, I didn't say that, you're straw manning me. No, I didn't say that, I don't know what it is. And it turns into all this sort of thing. It's like, you don't have anything.
But when we were saying earlier on, sorry, Limey, when you were saying, you know, about the inconsistency that people have with, you know, following a valid approach in one aspect of your life and not in another aspect of your life. Yeah. I reckon everyone is guilty of that, to be honest. I just reckon it's to what level you're guilty of it. I mean, I'm certain myself, if I was to go through every moment of every part of my day, there's going to be parts where I make stupid decisions for stupid reasons. And it just happens, you know, we tend to be kind of emotional beings. Like, you know, we run off our emotions, and we don't always have the time or the interest to look at everything extremely critically. And we make foolish decisions. And it's just sometimes people make more foolish decisions than others.
Sorry about laughing, but I was thinking that's how I got married the first time.
I definitely know where you're coming from. I mean, like, one of the things I find quite hard with, I won't say with debunking in general, but like sometimes I find it hard to put my points together, because like there's a lot of different personalities that run around in my head. And, you know, like sometimes it's
a name for that
different side of me. Yeah, I know. And I'm medicated, but like, you know, there's like, you know, like one of my videos could be, you know, from like a completely different person almost to like one of my other videos, you know, and it's hard. when I'm like making my videos, you know, like if it like when they take like 3 or 4 days, sometimes like I'm changing like my thoughts on it. But one thing I will say, and the reason I brought that up is that this is one of the ways I know that because you know my meds have to be adjusted or they have to change the type because they never work forever. And one of the things that I've learned that if I ever start to start thinking, you know what, this conspiracy theory's got a point, that's when I need to call the doctor and get my meds changed, because it's the irrational part of my brain that's coming back out to play, you know. Just saying that being a flirt's kind of a mental.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
Should we try and answer this from Helen Degenerates? Astronaut dropped a steel nut on the ISS. Sorry, I just want to joke about that. So why did that happen? I don't actually know what you're talking about, but does anybody else?
You'd have to have a look at the video. But I've seen videos on the ISS where, you know, they're saying that something gets dropped. Not only does it move ridiculously slow compared to if you drop something, but when you look at it carefully, you know, it's like when they sort of lose their grip and it creates a force.
Yeah, it's going to be like they didn't drop it; they just might have dropped it, but accidentally pushed it as well.
Yeah, like you know, when you lose a purchase on it. ISS. I've seen something get dropped on the ISS, and it's literally. I think the guy did it. What was he? He was holding. Oh, he was holding on to a blow-up globe, and because he was trying to hold it with like the one hand, and I think against his body, you know, he kind of lost purchase on it. But because of his hand moving, you know, obviously it's creating a slight downward force. But it fell just so ridiculously slow, you know, and it proves microgravity.
If I could
if
just
someone has a video link to that, we can share it. Maybe that's a good idea.
There's things can move down on the ISS. It's such a stupid point. Like,
yeah, they can move in any direction.
If you let go of something and don't impart any force, then it's going to stay there or move a little bit. But if you touch it, that's going to make it move, and it's going to keep on moving in that direction. I mean, unless you have proof of everything moving down in the ISS, then what is the point of your argument?
Yeah.
It's so cherry-picked. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's the thing with the whole ISS, you know, everyone will go, oh, it's all on wires. But there's like, I think, nearly an hour of an uncut like tour of the ISS where it's impossible for there to be wires, and you know that never gets mentioned.
So you have seen my latest video at STST.
Yeah.
Not
to mention that we can see it, like, you know, there's great videos of it crossing over the moon, you know, like stuff like that. And even now more so with what's the new internet? Skylink? Is that the new internet?
Yep.
That launched like they've put like 60 something odd satellites up there, haven't they? And when they were getting dropped off, like you could literally, you know, like if you were in the right place, you could see for a while this sort of string of satellites.
Yeah.
You know, that's just it's not going to work in a glass dome.
That's funny because on Facebook I'm on a UFO group just to ever see if there's any, you know, random videos. Like there was one today they're all going crazy about, and you could clearly see that was like a spider like building a web on the camera, and they were like going, "That's a UFO."
It's an alien spider.
God, like,
yeah. How did they know it wasn't an alien sky spider? You know, it might have been a really big spider, but it looked small because of how high up it was.
On that group, though, dude, on that group, literally today still, there are people posting on there pictures of Starlink, and they're going, it's aliens, it's aliens. And there's like, you know, when we step away from this flat Earth stuff, I was like, I'm going to look into what people are saying about UFOs. And like, they were like, even now, believing the Starlink is UFOs. And they go, no, it's a government project. They're covering it up. There's no such thing as the Starlink. It's literally like UFOs circling around the planet. The government are covering it up. They're mapping the planet. And I was just like, what? Like, people
they find it
believe
easier
that.
to
Like,
believe that it's actual aliens as opposed to us putting satellites up there. Oh my God. That's nuts.
Have you I'm not sure, Limey, but you said before that you're in a holiday place at the moment, do you?
Yes.
So do you ever have to put up satellite dishes for, you know, just terrestrial TV? Have you ever had to point one of those?
I haven't had to point one, but you know, when they installed the Sky TV, obviously they've set one up that's on the ground.
Sure.
The internet, like I ended up getting my own you know, SIM card powered 4G internet, because the internet that I did have is like an antenna receiver thing, you know, that the park uses, because you can't really get anything else around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never had to set anything like those things up.
Yeah, because
I
used to.
Our satellite dish for the Sky is on the ground.
Yeah, they can usually be pretty low. Like I used to have.
Yeah, I never knew that before until that.
I used to have a mobile home in a local seaside resort here, and because you only visit it for a couple of weeks of the year, you know, during your summer holidays and maybe a couple of weekends at either side of the summer, you're not going to have like cable TV or something like that, because then you have to pay for that.
We live here. So
yeah, so maybe that's different. I suppose
it closes for 6 weeks every year, but apart from that, you're always here. And then this year we were here because of lockdown for that 6 weeks.
So because then I didn't ever want to be paying for, you know, a year-long subscription when I'm only there for a while. I used to go off satellite, and I used to point at the British Sky satellite, so the Astra 28.2.
Nice.
And quite literally, every weekend I came down to the seaside resort, I used to have to put the satellite dish up, and I used to have to point it at the right satellite in the sky in order to get my television reception.
That's brilliant.
So when people ask me, you know, have I ever looked into this, that, or the other to prove the flat Earth? I'm like, no, because for me, for so long, I've just been doing things automatically that point out to me that, well, no, it isn't. Like, and as I said, like I know exactly. I haven't done it in a few years, but I used to have the dish marked and stuff, and I could know roughly exactly where in the sky this Astra 28.2 satellite was, and I could just point at it, and then I get telly.
One thing that I think from that is, like, one of the things that got me into flat Earth actually was, like, as well as Dubay, was like Mark Sargent did these like interviews where he was like interviews with a professional of, like, you know, a Navy pilot or this or that. One of them was a satellite dish installer. So what I can get from it now is there was either someone fraudulently pretending to be a satellite dish installer, or they were one
and their job,
but didn't really know what they were doing. You know, they kind of did what Dave was doing, but didn't know why. And they were like, oh yeah, I only ever pointed it in one place. Therefore, the Earth must not be flat and moving. But really, if you asked 100 satellite dish installers, is the Earth flat? They would laugh at you, and you know, not even one would say the Earth's flat. You'd have to ask 1,000 before you get anywhere near one of them saying the Earth is flat. Do you know what I mean? So they cherry pick the one,
of course,
the one satellite dish installer that happens to go on radio and go, oh yeah, I always point the dish in the same place, and they don't realize that it's a geostationary satellite. So it's always in the same place anyway.
But that couldn't even be a balloon then, which I think is the usual counter argument. Because like my question would be, what are you pointing at if it's not a satellite? So I think the usual kind of argument is it's a balloon. But my question is then, have you ever put a balloon up in the sky and said, stay there, don't move, stay there? And where you can go away for a year
to train them to do that. Do you know, a lot of people don't know as well, like even if you get cable TV, that's technically satellite as well. It's just, it comes from the big satellite to like a big receiving area, and then it gets pumped through the cable to the homes. You know, I didn't know that until I worked for Comcast when I was in the States.
We might have a debate.
Tidbit. Huh?
We might have a possible debate here if you're up for it.
Who?
Ooh,
Me and Rachie.
Oh, sweet.
of course.
Well, you can do that. I might jump off and go have a little masturbate of my own.
I don't think you mean now, though, do you?
Hey?
Or do you mean now? I haven't been watching the chat, so I'm kind of unaware what's been going on, to be honest. What's this here? Seek Truth. Are you listening? Listening to what? You're in the chat.
probably
Like I'm listening to these guys here.
Yeah, are
Degenerates
you reading?
Wants us to play that video.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
what
video?
video
what the-
title is
But they can't-
ISS is
but they
definitely fake.
They can't provide the link because they're not.
he gave me a title, and that literal title cannot be found. I tried YouTube and Google. And
Wait, whose channel is it on? Is it on yours, Helen Degenerates?
Because you're gonna, you can't.
maybe
Put it in a playlist on your
on
channel or
Netflix video.
something.
Or they can
and then-
post it on a link on one of our other videos. Just tell us which one.
Yeah, but anyway, until then, that would be good.
I'm not gonna make you a mod, Helen. Even for 30 seconds, I'm afraid. I do not trust you that far. No, I've realised how easy it is, like, for someone to just like ban 30 people from my channel without me even realising it. So I may be doing a moderator trim down soon, guys. So I think I've probably got about 40 or 50, and I'm going to trim it down. I'm sorry, to probably about 10. It's just for kind of reasons where people get timed out, and I don't want them to, and I kind of a little bit am out of control. So yeah, I need to kind of trim my moderators down. So please don't get offended if
Honestly,
some of you may
can
have
demod
lost your...
me if you want.
No, well, yes, the whole reason I'm doing it, mate. Yeah,
I can't be asked, you know.
You'll still be a mod. You'll still be a mod for that deal. It's not even a question. All four of you sitting here.
I'm gonna be very quiet now.
It's very, very easy to overdo it and to time people out.
Yeah, when you start, you just mod everyone, thinking like, oh yeah, you know, I want to, you know, they'll come back. But most of the people here, like most of the mods here tonight, will be the ones that are left. But like, yeah, I'm kind of just gonna have to trim it down and just be like, no, like, it's not even a serious issue, but it's just a kind of thing that I don't want to be one of them channels where everyone's a mod, if you know what I mean. Like, because it just seems a bit silly to me, because there's no point in having mods then, is there? You know,
but if we're all special, no one's special.
Yeah, and and I've seen, honestly, genuinely, like I know it's annoying, but I've seen like loads of flat earthers, people like that. They'll just get timed out just because, you know, literally just because.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know they're talking about things that aren't true, or they're probably repeating themselves. They're probably being quite annoying. But honestly, most of those aren't really good reasons to time people out, unless they're going really, really, you know, insulting or whatever, or spammy. But that's what I think anyway. Let them say their piece, and then we can call them out on it. Small potatoes, Alien X. Small potatoes.
No, bloody hell. You've spoken to Aaron Ra, dude. Like, you've got bigger potatoes than I have. Jesus. No, see, like, I hope that didn't sound horrible when I said that. I feel really mean now. Like, no, nobody think badly of that. Like, the moderator button really actually does mean nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's a click of the button and you get to time out people. But it's just one of those things where I think, you know, you just got to draw the line somewhere. So I'm certainly not going to be modding any more people for a long, long time. I'm sorry. It's just I've realised just how YouTube gets, you know, and like you could have people banning people from your channel and you don't even know about it. just if you've pissed someone off and say the wrong thing, you know. So
and Jose JG's shows, he literally does like mod everyone. So that's crazy. He only like removes mods from people sometimes, but yeah, it's crazy sort of like Wild West sort of environment. But
yeah, just shouldn't be like that, really, should it? If you know what I mean, like just because then you've left so many people in control of your chat, you know. But I think you know Jose does watch. You know, I've obviously got my eye on the chat, of course I have, but Jose is like obviously really involved in the chat at the same time. So maybe if something's happening, he'll kind of spot it anyway. But the last few streams, I've noticed people getting banned or timed out, and then it's kind of left with like it happened to Dell actually, and Mr. 42 came on to correct us and said like, no, actually Dell didn't delete his messages. Do you know what I mean? I just like like the stuff that's happening that I'm not in control of, you know. And on a stream that I'm doing, I should have more control, basically, you know.
I know Irish Demon did it there recently. He just basically said sorry and he unmodded everyone, and then when he felt the need to, he added people back in. Yeah, it's easily done. I can understand why he did it. Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna happen. Get debunking the title. Astronaut drops a nut, no floaty nut. Let's have a watch of it just to see what Helen's on about. Can anyone pull it up at all?
Well, I think Mr. 42's tried to find it, and I've no luck.
I found a link. Yeah, I will. I cannot share it, but I will put it in the private chat. So if someone here can actually do a hosting, the link is there now. That is a video on Helen's own channel. So that's the one he meant.
I can probably do it. Do this and do that and do that, and pause there and share my screen. Do the right one this one time.
I haven't seen it, so I hope it's not bullshit.
Share screen.
It's gonna be bullshit, Mr. 42.
Yeah, but I meant bullshit that would get you your channel in jeopardy.
It's gonna be a nut moving down.
I get you.
It's like things can still move down, dude, on the ISS.
Yes, go down, go boom, boom.
Helen DeGenerate, you're an anti-vaxxer as well.
Is that there now?
Who would have guessed? Oh dear.
All right, so
in a minute.
It's only 40 seconds. Am I playing this? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I suppose we all have to watch and see what's happening.
How did you do that? Who did that?
How did I do what?
Is that you, STST? I just noticed we're on the side.
No, it automatically happens when there's this many people in and the video comes up.
Oh, that's cool. Sorry, go on. I didn't.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's StreamYards.
You're a developer? Come on, man. You should understand.
He's a new developer. He's a new developer.
I know what I'm talking about, dude. Come on.
Right, we're gonna fire it on. 40 seconds. We all gonna be quiet for it, or are we gonna talk during it? I think we should be quiet.
Yeah, it's only 40 seconds.
Yeah, everyone mute yourselves, 40 seconds, and then we'll see what Helen's talking about. And
Stop the sound. Copyright.
This just goes to show, doesn't it? Like flat earthers will take anything and just run with it. He's trying to put it into the hole, and then you see his thumb move. Which way do you think the screw's going to go? Or the bolt? You know?
He just he just pushed it down a bit.
Bill, and whatnot. I saw his lips moving.
Is that what you have, Helen? Because that is fucking nothing and bullshit. And you know you're lying.
Yeah.
Like,
Bill,
Should we play a
you're
clip?
still
Should we
muted.
play like a minute? Should we play a minute of the ISS like walkthrough? Like, well, not walkthrough.
Bill, you're still muted.
Let's play a minute of that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, as first of all, like, I mean, this is why I said, YouTube isn't evidence of stuff. I mean, I don't know what that video is. I don't know if there was a sound, if there wasn't a sound. I don't know if the astronaut was twisting a bolt, if when they twisted, there was a bit of friction as they did, and their arm flung it in a direction. I don't like. I mean, what I have there is I have a piece of a video of something, and then what I have on the other side is mountains of data. And you're like, okay, that seems a bit weird, and it does seem a bit weird that we would hear that sound and that the note would happen like that. But just because it seems a bit weird doesn't counteract the mountains of evidence around the other side. So we'd have to investigate that and see what the story is.
Exactly. What I would like to, I would like to know just how much research, you put into stuff before, you put your content. Because, I mean, like, I'm looking at this one video, no cases of autism in Vietnam before Bill Gates and his poison. When was the vaccine created? Like what, mid to late last year, was it?
It depends. I mean, there was vaccines years ago.
There's reports, of autism in Vietnam going back fucking many years, and this is just from a 10-second Google search that I did, to check out some reports. Like, if you actually research stuff, I imagine half this content wouldn't get put up.
So just to see there, I see in the chat, Dog Walker has said that nothing falls. If you watch the rest of the real video, he's reaching down for the bottom clips. So again, I haven't seen.
No, I was about to say, I didn't see anything fall. I don't know about the rest of you.
No, he looked down.
But I just assumed maybe something fell because of how his hand went. Like they didn't slow the video down.
But I didn't see anything fall.
No, I didn't see anything move, but I assumed from the moving of his hand that, oh shit, my daughter is starting again.
I might have to play that one back sometime at 25% speed or something.
No, there's literally nothing that you could go through it frame by frame and see if you could see something, because I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I didn't either. But like I said, all right, so it's going by the sound. Like, there's not anything else that could make a sound. This is the thing. You can't just assume stuff,
So Helen, the rest of the video, is he reaching for something else than the nuts? So you're leaving that out on purpose. So you are very disingenuous. You are lying again, and you've been called out again.
Right. Actually, someone came up with a good idea, actually, and saying we can go through it frame by frame. So can maybe I share?
Yeah, of course.
And let's just do a nice, good job of destroying this bullshit video.
Sure. But also, Bill, does Dog Walker might have the actual link to the actual video rather than the cherry-picked one? So we don't have just the clip. The actual video.
That makes sense.
Oh, I did like the music though.
Otherwise, I'll do this one. I can still do it with this one. The quality.
That might be a copyright strike, crack.
Oh, I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Can you
copyright strike?
It's very, very, very obvious that nothing falls. So do we have the original? Or
Helen, nice to describe yourself. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dave, do you have it?
It's the reverse psychology, isn't it?
Do I have what, Bill? Sorry.
Doofus Manfred said, "Where's Wally?" Did a response. I think Debbie Dave has the link.
Oh, I do have the link. I do. That's what. So, I had that in my thing a second ago, and where did I put it?
What?
I tell you what. Just to be fair, I'll do it. Let's go through. Where's Wally's video, and then let's go through original, and we'll see how both of it is.
There's
BS.
There's where's Wally's one.
Oh, right. Yeah, cheers, Dave. So let's... well, it doesn't have to be me, but let's see. Actually, talk amongst yourselves, guys. I'm going to find out where this is.
Well, I'm just going to thank everyone that's come along at the minute. Sab Legal, Alien X Gaming. Hello, mate. I hope you are well. Dog Walker, Legend, Leah Stevens, Furio Castelluccio,
Yeah, can I
Generation
just
Glow,
point out that that is an
Suffolk
awesome
Boy,
name.
Marcus Dresden, Rob Fowler, Charlie Welch, Liam Wakefield, Keith Milner, Flat Turd. Good to see you, mate. And all, if you haven't tickled the like, please do so. Yeah, it'll just help the algorithm and help the channel. I am here, Flurfspective. Hello to you, mate. Good to see you, Mr. Comedy Gold. That's what I'm going to call him now.
His stuff is amazing, isn't it? Like I'm loving it, loving it.
Yeah. So, just out of interest, right? So, Helen DeGeneres got a comment deleted there. You've been owned right here, which fine. That's just a stupid claim. And then they were timed out by it. So I think that's probably the kind of stuff that Craig was talking about not doing.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Yeah.
Like I can see here who did it, but I don't want to say it. I don't think that would be fair either. But the person that did it knows, I suppose, and just it. Yeah, okay, they've said we've been owned. Obviously, that's nonsense, but we can handle that nonsense. I suppose I don't want to speak for you, Craig, so I'll stop talking.
No, that's okay. Because
to
be honest, I miss I obviously completely love and try and see every comment in this chat. But sometimes when I talk for 2 or 3 minutes, I then don't go back and scroll through and see what happened. If you know what I mean, like I kind of catch up every time I'm not talking. If you know what I mean, so I do miss things. So, but yeah, kind of reiterating really. Unless someone's being racist or sexist or really abusive, please don't time someone out. It just adds to the fun, I think. And if it does offend you, maybe tag me and let me know, and I'll look at it and kind of make a decision myself. But yeah, please don't just time people out willy-nilly, even though actually I didn't see what happened. But it's just my point going forward.
It's not always, I think, willy-nilly either, is it? Because like you say, you don't want to be racist or sexist. Should that not also apply for globist? Because if anything, I mean, fuck these flirts. I love this oblate spherical bitch. You know what I'm saying? Fuck globist haters.
I love this spherical bitch. I love that. Like, I might write a rap song.
I've got the video.
Oh, speaking of rap, God, I never knew, dude. What is the? Oh, God. What was it? Because I don't know. Did you have a link in one of your videos or something? But I never knew that you did all the rapping over on the other channel.
And
dude,
it's not much of a channel.
Well, no,
I've only got 11 subscribers or something. But yeah, no, I do.
You've got some skills.
Yeah, in IRL, like we say, in real life. Yeah, like in 2019, me and this guy, one of my best mates, Johnny Sticks, we actually had like a top 20 for unsigned artists, if you know what I mean, only for our local county of Suffolk. But there was so many good, even for just one county,
awesome.
To be chosen by the BBC, like at the end of the year, they kind of played our song again and were like, this is our top 20 from what we've heard this year. So yeah, man, like I've got a gig coming up actually in like 3 weeks time, so that's like
awesome.
me in the actual life as well. Yeah. But I'm not claiming to be Jon Snow or anything. Like Jon Snow is the legend of like kind of rapping in this community. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just
he's pretty good, isn't he?
ridiculously good. But
I like your stuff, man. So
I'm
you heard it?
hoping I can get
Yeah.
signed a record deal when I finally finish writing "Go Flurf Yourself." You know, it's like literally, I've just got to make a couple of tweaks to the third verse, and then I think it's done. And then it's going to be
You
good.
got to flurf yourself in the moment. Believe it.
No,
You never
it's,
believe
I've
anymore in
moved
the
that bit
dance.
to the end. Like the chorus will end with "Go Flurf Yourself." But yeah,
I hate to interrupt the talk of Seek Truth, Speak Truth's amazing rap career, but could we go over that video? Because
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
If I
all right, I'll be back in a sec. I'm going to grab another beer, but I'm sure I won't miss much.
oh, right, mate.
Well, no, you know, I mean, it's not going to be anything on that video that debunks the ISS. So
no. But this is just to make it crystal clear. So
yeah,
we're
exactly. I've got complete faith in you guys finding it. You know, I mean, I'm blind. I ain't going to notice shit. But hey, I'll try to assist in a minute.
Okay,
Blimey knows how it is.
This is the bit where he's unscrewing the screw. So pay attention. So the claim is the screw falls down. So we should be able to see the screw below this guy's hand at some point.
But does it fall down, go boom boom?
Yeah, we should be able to see screw fall down, go boom boom. So we're going through it frame by frame. So we should be able to see that screw as soon as it falls. So he's still unscrewing it. And I'm looking really carefully here. I cannot see anything fall at all. So you see how he's starting to look down? There's nothing there. There's nothing. You see? He's looking down. There is no screw at all. I don't know what he's looking down at. But it certainly ain't that screw. It doesn't fall down. And if we try it again with Helen Degenerate's video, it's the exact...
Play a little bit further. Maybe you can see what he gets off the ground.
Yeah, so, yeah, we could do that. So, again, looking below his hand, nothing falls at all. So there's no... I can't see anything fall at all. No screw. So I don't know what kind of evidence this is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be because the guy looks down, there's a screw that falls? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's that look, isn't it? He literally like looked down and oh my God, something fell. But there's not even anything there. One thing I noticed Mr. 42 just said though was like so he said something along the lines of on the ground and then actually stumbled a bit because it's like shit, it's not the ground. We sound like that's shills.
Yeah, I
but
quoted ground. Sorry.
That is because I would do the same. Like because we're not used to saying it fell on the floor of the ISS. So we just suddenly, we say the ground. Like, because to us, you know, if you're on an aeroplane and you drop something, you pick your wallet up, you've picked up from the ground. But it's the ground where you are, if you know what I mean. Like, you're not physically saying Earth's surface. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've heard flat earthers when, you know, an ISS, they might say, on the ground, and they've picked that up and said they're on the ground, but it's not. It's just, you know, your everyday thought pattern. You're going to say I picked up from the ground.
Yeah, it's happened to me on ferries. You know, you're on a ferry, you drop something. Oh, I've dropped it on the ground. No, I've dropped it on the floor of the boat, which is on the ocean. But you know, I say ground because that's easy.
Yeah.
I thought ferries were CGI.
Oh, sugar! I forgot.
Well, they certainly don't. They certainly don't go over a curve.
Right, you know.
I was told to.
I mean, except when they do,
but by Doofus that we're missing something. We should have looked at that video. We should have gone on to 3 minutes 30 on Where's Wally's one. And he said that's where the debunk hits hard. So,
do you want me to put the screen share?
For me, will I draw it up? Sorry, I thought.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, I can do that. Give me a second.
I I've got faith in Mr. Where's Wally. I'm an honorary wolf, so yeah, let's do
We'll
this.
start
I'm
about
sure it'll be okay.
there, and
There's I could put it back on, and I didn't get this. I only sort of skimmed through it, but you can actually see the nut or whatever it is still there when he opens the cover. So that's proof that nothing dropped in the first place. So yeah. So I think we completely destroyed that video. Helen, sorry. But yeah.
Do you want to see it? Do you want to
Sorry,
see where that
sorry.
happens?
Yeah, go on, Dave.
Yeah, let's do it.
So can you set me up there? Thank you very much. So this is about 3 minutes in. So you said you've seen where this happens, Billy Joe. Sorry, I have the sound off. I don't know. Should I turn the sound back on?
It is around then. It is 3:30, I think. 3:30. But you can see opens the door, and if you look on the door, as it's opened, just on the left there, you could see the nut.
Oh yeah, look. Yeah, I see that. I see that.
And it is
Just
floating
right
around, just like you'd expect in the ISS. So
Thank you, Mr. Watt. Yeah, look.
Even more
your...
destroyed.
What a surprise, Aaron.
There it is, right there. Look at that. Look, there's the thing that fell.
Oh, that's why he cut it off, eh?
STST, can you put that one up? Can you put that message from Helen DeGeneres? Put that up. Headphones man is the real liar. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
Well and truly debunked.
That's harsh. Headphones, man. God.
Yeah,
wait.
You're gonna cry yourself to sleep, Bill.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm gonna do this.
Oh dear.
Headphones man is the real liar. Is real liar.
You know you're on to a winner.
I've changed my name in StreamYard.
Nice. Like you know you're on to a winner when you have to start your rebuttal with an insult, don't you? You know that means that you definitely have some good stuff to contribute there when you need to start by insulting somebody. You
I just love how this was the big like bombshell that I'll send them. This will show them this video, and then it's like the screw didn't drop. Do you know what I mean?
Did you just change your name to Headphones Man? Yep.
He did.
Yeah. Helen just changed subjects, obviously. What a surprise.
What's the subject? Panda shape shifting. What?
It's probably a compilation.
Actually, sorry, I still want to talk about that video. Actually, I'd love to talk something else.
Funny. I mean, if I was a moderator here, I'd be saying like, Helen, mate, you just jumped completely over that one, like completely debunked. Okay, next. What about the shape shifting video? What the hell? Like, man, just know when you debunk, dude.
No, Helen, we're not gonna give you any more views.
Yeah, Bill, I've added to the confusion.
But you don't even have headphones. What's going on? Oh no! Oh, there we go. Wait.
Brilliant.
Can't do that though. Can't hear. Oh, these are fun. I love these streams.
Yeah, they're the best ones. You know, just there's no topic, just can go anywhere. Roid off the chat.
Yeah, bit of live debunking is always good.
I think is Helen one of the. I think Helen actually has got a video just called like STST the Creep or something like that.
Oh, there's that on the channel.
There's a lot. There's a lot about you, mate.
You must be a fanboy.
I think someone else might be creeping on me. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many videos have I made about you, mate? How many live streams have I been in with yours? Like, this is It's getting a bit intense
There's a
now.
lot about Ranty on there as well.
Yeah.
What's the one that I saw? Oh, seek help, speak crap.
Well, to be honest, that's quite accurate. That
I
actually,
think that one's awesome.
Yeah.
Helen, the
There was one,
hairspray we
there was
always
actually
debunked last
Truth,
time.
YouTube's biggest creep. That's a bit
what I
harsh,
mean.
isn't it? You know.
And then Gary Wybenger was commenting on there, and he was going, "Oh, well, that's a competition between him and Mr. Sensible." And I was just like, "Oh, for fuck's sake," you know. And that's why I said to
Really,
Gary Wybenger, like, yeah. And I was
really,
like, "You're not
just
coming on
got
my
something
channel."
against the follically challenged.
Yeah, well, they challenged in many more ways than that. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Mm.
Seek help, speak crap. You got the lady though. Yes, yes, they did.
I think
I've got to shout out Mr. Flow Perspective. Actually, Ranty, like he phoned me the other day, like, and I was just over the moon, to be honest. At first, because I was with the missus. I hope you all kind of know the news, but and I said like,
No, I don't.
Ranty. I said to the missus like, Ranty's phoning me. I was like, I'm not going to answer it because I'm with you. And she went, answer it. Like, how can you not answer it? It's Ranty. And then, like, you know, we just had this like quality conversation, and yeah, so I was just really, really happy about that, and was just like, dude, you're a legend, and he's such a good, genuine guy, and yeah, just really welcome that man back to the community. Flow Perspective, check that channel out, guys. Yeah, it's better than mine. It's like a much better leaving flat earth story than mine, you know. Come here for the weepy and then like go there just to see the flat earthers getting fucking ripped a new one. Yeah,
Ranty is very good. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Ranty
making
fan.
some brilliant videos, and he's smashing people in debates. You know, like Brian's logic probably will be sending Ranty a bill for therapy after that smashing.
I hope not, because nobody can afford that bill.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Oh dear.
Oh, that's I don't know.
yeah. Original headphones man's in the right corner. Like they're both in the right corner.
Yeah, I mean, are you watching the same stream we are? I don't know.
He's
I quickly watched this Gem Panda shape-shifting video on mute. Obviously, it's only like 30 seconds long, but it's just someone, you know, in portrait mode, and their face just changing, like with one of them, you know, little camera filters and shit that can be. I don't understand the point of making that video.
No.
When
it's
you've
not even worth
got
watching
other gems on there, you know, just I'm gonna be checking out your channel, Helen, definitely.
Mario, I wanted to forget the shower scene. Come on, you can be therapy.
I will never forget the shower scene, and for that, Ranty, I thank you.
I mean, for a second, I thought it was Limey Play. I was thinking, what?
Hey.
I've just had a Discord.
When like lockdown finally ends, and you know, like hopefully I lose a bit of weight, and you know, decide to go out and meet a nice chick, and you know, what's she gonna think when the first time we make love and I accidentally call her Ranty in bed because of that shower scene? You know.
Luckily, I've already been through that.
Although I can just convince her that I said Randy. Yeah, I've got it covered. We're okay.
And the question is,
let's hope you don't say perspective then.
Huh?
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Rachie 5 zeros. Sorry, Limey. Rachie 5 zeros has just sent a message actually saying, "Ask Bullet Bill to debunk this," but I have no way of sharing it. Like
send it. You can send it to me, and I can.
There must be someone else on Discord that you can send it to, and we'll quite happily watch the video. I'm sure, Rachie. Yeah, We'll have to set up a time,
mean,
Rachel, when you can come on.
I might not be able to stay for too much longer. I'll see. I'm probably okay actually. But
Is it because you got called headphones, man? Is that why you want to leave?
Yeah, I'm just so upset that I have to go and cry.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I love that from Tiny Captain. Before Ranty, the most famous shower scene was from the movie Psycho. Not anymore.
I mean, you could combine the two, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Are you telling us to stab Ranty?
That was never visible in the shower scene. I mean, the original one.
Yeah, the stabbing wasn't. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think I still really like the tinfoil like trifecta or whatever it was. That do you remember Ranty's tinfoil thing?
Yeah.
I think that's insider knowledge because we all knew about the cap, but I think only a true flat earther knows about the full.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Well, I didn't know that,
armor.
so I must not have been a true flat earther. Like literally, the way he's like,
you hadn't ascended to that level in the cult yet. You know,
you get presented it on a cushion.
Yeah.
Someone comes around your house.
Yeah.
I was never as deep as Ranty got.
I think Ranty was like only one step away from where they teach you to levitate, and then you can go up and actually see the ice wall from from 300 miles up. And because unfortunately, once you learn how to levitate, there's a chore list rotation. You all have to go up and clean the dome.
Shower scene from Arachnophobia. Ooh.
Oof. Anything from Arachnophobia. Even, and like watching it, because I first watched it as a kid and, being terrified of spiders, it was not good. But I've gone back and watched it as an adult, and there's that bit where it's crawling up his leg and you can see like the wooden stick that the spider's attached to, it's like a little animatronic spider or whatever. Even so, even the fact that it's on a stick and it's clearly like, I just still, it's fucking disgusting. Spiders are done. My youngest half sister in the States, at one time she worked for a snake breeders, and they also they sold all the snakes and the spiders and all that shit. And I stopped going to visit her at her house when I went round there one time, and she was like, "Oh, look, check out all my new pets." And she had a couple different snakes, but she also had a fucking tarantula and a black widow. And when the black widows, when they get out, you'd be amazed how fast those fuckers run across the floor. And no. Speaking of that same sister, though, she was signed up to do another 50K, right? And this one was going to be going through some, like high elevations. Where's the tip button? Oh, okay. But yeah, so this one was going to be going up into like the mountains in Washington, and it's this high enough elevation that it's all like frozen over and snow, and it's quite dangerous. And because of the weather that was coming in, they decided to cancel it. So what does she do when they cancel her 5K? She decides to go and run a 50K on her own through the desert. So yeah, she's now ran over 1,000 miles so far this year, or 1,000 kilometers, sorry, and she has done a total of 230,000 feet of elevation. Keep the clothes on. But yeah, oh sorry, I had to throw that in. In fact, can I shill her channel?
Go for it.
Ranty's just said we need an STST shower scene, and I just replied saying this is getting a bit out of hand.
Actually, STST and I were going to do a joint shower scene when he comes down to visit me.
Yeah.
For
then,
a part of Randy history.
Does anyone know how to do a holographic shower scene?
Holograms don't need
I don't know how
showers.
that would work with the electricity, and I just don't know. Like,
Oh, you never know. I have some tricks up there.
so funny. Yeah, I mean, Ranty started something here, isn't he, with the whole like shower scene? Like, it's just infamous now. Like, it's the big swan, isn't it? You know, it's just like. Thanks, Alien X Gaming, for that, mate. Thank you very much.
The oblate swan.
$2 super chat.
You to keep the clothes on. I was going. You said the big swan, and I said the slightly oblate swan. You know.
What is this, Randy? Ice white scene.
It's so funny, isn't it? Like, even now, the black swan gets brought up, and you're like, you know, dude. And then I'll show them. This happened actually today. Like on Facebook, I've been getting in so many arguments with people. But like, one of them like showed me the black swan, and we argued for about half an hour. And then it got to the point when I was like, right, I'm going to show him the Earthrise photo. You can't use photos as evidence.
Deadly Dave,
and I was like,
your tits.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Deadly Dave.
Sorry about that.
My daughter is watching. Thank you very much. That's also therapy.
That was Ranty from the midriff down. Like, that was like Ranty's midriff. For anyone that missed it. Ship 28 miles away, fully visible from a viewer height of only 3.5 feet. Whoop-de fucking shit.
Oh
like, 20 miles? Like, is that it? Like, do you honestly think, like, if the Earth was flat, you should be seeing...
You'd be able to see this... Dude, if the Earth was flat, you'd be able to see the sun in the middle of the night.
Yeah. The other thing is, so right there, they've said fully visible. Now, first off, we'd need to see a picture of that boat, you know, when it's right up near the shore, just so we can get the perspective, you know, the different ratios to see how much of it sits above the water, because some of these ships are that big that, you know, quite a lot of it is already hidden, and you still think it's above, you know, above the fucking horizon by quite a bit. And then there's refraction.
I mean, keep this one up.
Out of interest, I live on the west coast of Ireland. I can't see America.
There you go. See,
did you zoom in with your P900?
I have a telescope, and I know that's not a P900, but it's better.
Yeah. See, that's one of the points that I think I've actually made that in the video that I'm editing for tomorrow. I think, no, or did I leave it out in the end? But yeah, like, because you can get a fucking telescope that smashes a P900 or P1000 out of the water, and yeah, you can only resolve it when it's, you know, still over the, you know, above the curve, or it hasn't gone over it yet. For our eyes, or shitty cameras, you know, or even just lower resolution cameras, it's going to look like it's gone over the curve a lot earlier, because it's gone into the, you know, that diffraction limited angular resolution, and we can't differentiate it, you know.
Helena's just debunked flat Earth with this comment: I can't see the next village, because we live on a globe.
Maybe you should open the window.
Does anyone remember the Father Ted clip? Because I know it's not about flat Earth, but it's the funniest thing, the small cow far away. There's
no, but
I love that scene.
I think we should share that clip.
Someone put it on. I can't be asked. I've done enough.
Oh, fine.
Share my screen.
Yeah,
Go on.
you know what? You've probably got a better upload speed than me, actually.
Leave it,
so,
leave it to the Irish guy.
Leave it to the Irish one.
Yarr.
I bring Irish Dave, Deadly Dave. Somebody, I just go to call him Irish Dave. for
Irish
some reason.
Dave, okay.
Yeah,
Irish
he
Dave.
knows that. He knows it's a problem that I have.
It's all good. It's all good.
but like,
Deadly Demon.
I have him
I
here
think
for his Irish accent. You know,
I called
He's like-
Inquisitor Bacon Inquisitor Demon the other day. It just all starts to go around. I just want to say I searched Father Ted Cows Far Away, and the third one, after, you know, there's 2 different videos on different channels about the cow one, but the third one is that one. I hear you're a racist now, Father. Do you remember that one? I fucking love that episode. Oh, it was brilliant.
Oh, sorry. It's still on 25% speed from when I was watching the
Oh,
other
that
one.
small cow.
Ah,
That cow is small.
Oh, normal.
wait.
Yeah,
If that cow's small, because of
one last
an
time.
angular resolution,
These
shouldn't
are
its legs
small.
have disappeared?
Oh,
and
you
it's
got
now
that now.
sitting on top
There.
of the
Stop
table?
talking.
Far away.
That's how it works on flat Earth.
Shut up, Limey.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, one last time. These are small, but the ones out there are far away. Small, far away. I forget it.
I I don't know what it is about that clip.
What's
I think it's the fact
Google, isn't
that
it?
they're really concentrated. Dougal's really concentrated.
What was that other show that the actor who plays Dougal was in, where he was like the alien superhero or something?
My Hero, wasn't it?
My Hero. That's it. Oh my god, what a great show!
My
I haven't
Hero.
seen
Yeah.
that in years.
that is a great clip. Oh,
Should we put the other one on now? I hear you got a racist stuff on there. Oh, it's so good.
I mean, the amount of times I've seen every one of those episodes, and I could just watch them over and over again. I see Mr. 42 has moved to Australia.
Yes, I did.
Currently in the west of Australia with Mr. Demon.
And Dougal believes he lives on a bull. Oh, dear.
No, he believes in spider demons or spider baby.
You know who else believes we live on a ball? About, I don't know,
Everyone.
at least probably 5 or 6 digits worth of people that have got, you know, that have got IQs so ridiculously high they'd actually be a decent credit score. like I've got an IQ of 139, which is not bad, right? That's pretty fucking good.
how much?
But
How
some of
much?
these 139
That's very
puts me at, like, you know, quite a bit above average. But you know,
Mine's
like some
only
of these fucking
278.
scientists, huh?
I said mine's only 278. Oh no, that was when I was a flat earther. Sorry, no, that was when I was a flat earther.
But like, no, I mean, like some of these fucking scientists and shit, you know, that do all this stuff. 'Cause I'm not smart enough to get like their fucking degrees. I don't think, you know, no fucking way. And I consider myself pretty fucking intelligent, but like these people are just like they're insane, you know. Like it's they're so fucking smart.
Actually,
Like, how can we not fucking trust them? And then when they break it down easy enough to do, you know, like I've fucking calculated that we live on a globe by, you know, repeating experiments that you know that they've done.
I don't know if necessarily you wouldn't be able to, Limey, because sometimes we surprise ourselves with what we can do. But
Yeah,
certainly, it's very, very, very hard. I mean, there's if you get into quantum physics, it's so confusing that you just have to throw common sense out of the window because
I want to get into quantum physics because I think that would be my step close to making the Ant-Man suit. You know,
I mean, if I'm speechless. Yes, that's yes. Do that.
Definitely.
The guy in pink is deluded. Apparently,
he is a bit. He is a bit.
There's no argument there actually.
He is. Helen, yes, he is, but he still knows we live on a globe.
Yeah, no argument there. But I'll still debunk every one of your videos, and I'm gonna do a couple of them for Monday nights. I think can't do it for tomorrow night because I've already got. I'm almost done with editing tomorrow night's one. So yeah, but I'll do something. I'll do something with this treasure trove of stuff. Oh, wow. Thank you,
I
Helen,
think
for being
we've
here.
just hit 3 hours live, so I think that's a nice cushy number to round up on.
Yeah, I only wanted to be here for like an hour or so, so you know that.
We only wanted you here for an hour or so too, to be honest.
Prick. And that being said, subscribe to Deadly Dave.
Oh well, if you're leaving now, Limey, I'll carry on for a bit, but I'm not sure.
We all get a chance to talk.
Fine. I'll leave and then change my name to Gary Wybenga and come spam your chat.
I'm completely joking, mate. I'm completely joking.
It's getting late where we are. The sun went down ages ago. It didn't, sort of hover over to the next part of a pizza. The fucking the heat lamp. Yeah.
Good night, headphones, man.
Aside from not having a model, Helen, maybe between now and next time we all come together, you can explain how the sun and the moon work, on your just ridiculous.
The word you're looking for is on their model that they don't have.
Yeah.
And that's the whole problem. Like, it's like, you don't, you're not even at the start line.
Yeah. They haven't even got a working hypothesis to test. It's at the moment it's a notion. It's just been a notion for ages.
Isn't even a theory, is it? When people
and
say
our
like
model works
theory,
perfectly with everything.
But I suppose, just to answer your question properly there, that does depend realistically, because language is awful. That depends on what definition of the word you're using. And if you're talking about scientific stuff, then you're using the scientific definition, and then absolutely no, it doesn't fit it. But if you're talking about just colloquial language, it's unfortunately a word that has become used for that. So quite often now in colloquial language, people say the word theory when they mean a guess or hypothesis or something like that. But again, you got to remember that if you're talking in scientific terms, then you have to use the scientific definitions. And yes, then as you said, in the scientific definition, no, that's not what it means at all.
And this is the thing as well, because even entropy across physics or chemistry is used in different contexts, isn't it? I think that was right, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know chemistry very well, but I'm sure it was one of the words. But anyway, even amongst the different sciences, they have some words that will be used in multiples, but mean slightly different things, just like in reality, or regular speech, like as you said, Dave, we can say one thing like theory and mean a guess, but a theory it's like the highest point you can get to in science. You can't really have like true fact in science, because we never know the whole story, because our technology is always getting more and more fantastic, isn't it? You know, like we're always coming along
It's
the
a
way.
mistake
have
to
a
describe
theory.
theory that way as well, though.
It's
A theory isn't, you don't get promoted to a theory.
Well-
That's not quite how it works. A theory is what is the description of the observation.
It's after it's been like rigorously
After the observations have been demonstrated, and
Yeah.
it's through the demonstration. But I mean, it has to have been demonstrated to be there. So I understand why we're talking about in that. But like, I mean, there is both the law of gravity and the theory of gravity, and they both exist simultaneously and both mean different things.
Mm.
Okay. Look, I literally did not know that. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah. So and I'm going to start running into my own ignorance here in a moment. The law of gravity is what we have
Isn't it
observed.
the law of gravitational acceleration, isn't it? Or isn't that like isn't it? Isn't it gravitational
I'm not a physicist.
acceleration
Limey play.
is the law?
Let Deadly Dave. Sorry, I was going to say, mate.
I was happy with him interrupting me because I'm not a physicist. But yeah, so when we're talking about the law of gravitational or gravity, or again, whatever, when you're talking about a law, a law is what is there to I'm going to get this wrong, I think. So let me just be careful. A law is what's there to describe what we've observed. No, I'm going to bail out entirely. There's an important difference. I would have to go looking it back up, and I don't want to say the wrong thing.
I think it's a law is like a relationship. So
like Newton's law of universal gravitation.
Yeah. So that you could demonstrate mathematically, like this will always be this amount more than this, or something like that. You could say that's a law, as opposed to a theory, which doesn't necessarily have to be like a mathematical like relationship.
So the reason we've got gravitational theory, would that be because even though we've got quite an understanding of it, we know that we haven't even really scratched the surface as to what it can do, or might do with like curving space-time? And
no,
that's not it either.
Because gravity, the theory of gravity is much more than just how fast things fall. So the theory is that we know that things fall, and what we know from that, and what we think is the cause of that. Do you see what I mean? So it's not
laws like mathematically proven relationships between something. Maybe
let me read you a definition. Let me read you a definition. So a law and a theory are two terms that are often used in the context of scientific terminology. The main difference between a law and a theory is that a theory tries to explain the reasoning behind something that occurs in nature, whereas scientific laws are just descriptive accounts of how something occurs in nature.
Okay. So the theory is kind of using it as we would use it for a guess, because it's trying to explain it. It's trying to push our knowledge that bit further. But obviously it's not like. But
it's not a guess. No, but it's not a guess. It's what it is we're trying to explain it with the evidence we have. So it's where you can use things to try and. Sorry, yeah.
It would have started off as a guess, yes, but
that's the hypothesis.
But then we've done some work and we found out that actually is what happened. If it wasn't, then screw that theory. You move on to something else. But if it's still there, and if it still does the job, then at that time at least, that's the going theory. That's our best explanation.
So, do you think maybe then law, this is what happens, theory, this is why it happens? Would that be just to try and, I know it might not be possible to put like a real simple term on each one, but
I think law. I don't think the definition of law is very. It's not as concrete as something like theory would be, say. But I think loosely speaking, a law is something that is fairly cut and dry, and it's something that is mathematically related to each other. Do you know what I mean? So there isn't. You're not even saying you understand anything about why it happens, but you're saying that, oh, I know that things fall to the ground at 10 meters per second squared, or whatever it happens to be.
So, Sutterston too has it nailed perfectly there, if you allow me, in the comments. Just laws is equal to observed behavior. Theory is why or how it comes about. So if you're looking for kind of a shorthand answer, that's nailed it there.
That is awesome. Thank you, S. Thurston too.
Yeah, it's all it's very, very interesting. Because a good way to look at it, if anyone's curious, I mean, a good example of how theories work and how they change is look into the theory of the atom, because how we understood atoms that's changed quite a lot through time, and each time we've got a drastically different model as we've gotten better at observing things. We've built better equipment, so it's quite an interesting story actually.
I love this one. How are even 50 people watching this? LOL.
Who knows?
Well, you're watching, mate. You're watching it, Tom. So, LOL.
Yeah, there you
Thanks,
go.
Tom.
Yeah.
Are you a globe believer or flat earther, Tom? I'd like to know. But yeah, I wouldn't care if you were a globe believer.
But I don't want to make an assumption.
I reckon that was a genuine comment. Not I think that was somebody just aware that they were watching it themselves.
Yeah. It's difficult. It could either be the sarcastic, like how there's many people watching it, or it could be, oh wow, 50 people are watching this. So it's a bit hard to say. So
yeah.
So
it could either be sarcastic or it could just be a major put down for channel.
I don't care. Like I actually look at 50 people as a great number.
Mate,
I'm really, really happy.
I
with
would.
that.
I kept the stream going with 7 people watching before, and I was well chuffed. Like just if one person pops in to watch it, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd definitely be happy with. You had like 58 earlier, I think, when I was checking and like with checking the count with the likes, and that's awesome.
But even that, honestly, it really doesn't. It doesn't. If you know what I mean. I think I would still stream. I think if I had 7 or 10 people there. Anything less would start getting a bit like, kind of, why am I doing this? But like, 52 people, like that's an incredible amount. Like to me, a massive number of people. Like it's huge.
It's fantastic. Not to make little of it, but I think there when was it the live stream when Renty came out as a Glober, wasn't there like over 1,500 people watching or something ridiculous? That's nuts. Can I just read this? Charlie Welch says that Helen D just denied gravity 15 minutes after trying to use gravity for his falling screw.
What a nut job.
Love it.
Nuts.
No, that was relative density, Charlie. Did you see? And this is the reason that I did 2 or 3 videos on Sleeping Warriors density disequilibrium friggin' thing, because one of his videos title was literally relative density does what Newton and Einstein failed to do. Just the arrogance,
This is an egg.
Yes, this is an egg. And this is a parts per million counter. It has nothing to do with the density of something, but I'm going to use it to prove that it's just got denser because I'm a twat.
Newton said himself, do not ascribe gravity to me. Probably because he was being modest.
No one gives a
you know.
shit about
also
what Newton said or what any evidence is not what people says. It's actual experiments. It's data. Give us some actual facts. Give us some evidence. No one cares what anyone said. I could say anything about the shape of the Earth. It wouldn't be evidence of anything. Jesus.
I love this by Jose JG.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said this. A NASA employee said this. Fuck.
My mother said something different. Who cares?
Here's the thing, okay? We always knew that there were going to end up being a mass amount of flat earthers when McDonald's had to add the writing on their coffee cup to say, caution, contents may be hot. You know, that was the first sign of
you can get better with that. you can get better than that. I've heard there was a toy cape in America, and that had a warning saying does not enable actual flight.
Do you want to hear one better than that? In Switzerland, there was a warning label on a chainsaw that said, warning, do not use on genitalia. And that is a honest to God's truth. I don't know why I say honest to God's when I don't believe in him, but force of habit, I guess. But yes,
that.
True.
To be fair,
do not use chainsaw on genitalia. I don't know if someone was trying to use it for manscaping or something.
It doesn't seem like the right tool for that. It really doesn't.
It does not. But you know, for that to end up as a warning label, it must have happened. You know, these things they don't just think. You know what?
That was probably a dare or an April Fool's thing.
Yeah. Oh, well, it was brilliant because it ended up on a couple of TV shows and in the newspaper. It was awesome.
Guys, I am going to round it up. It's been 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's been 16 minutes since you were last going to round it up.
Yeah, but you didn't let him. You just kept on rambling.
I know. I don't want this to end. But yeah, no, I need to move as well. So thank you for having us.
Everyone, I think Jose JG is on a push to the 3K. He's in the ex-Flat Earther crew with me and Ranty.
Oh, didn't know that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, he's an ex-Flat Earther.
But he doesn't believe in
we've
the
had
moon.
our troubles in the past. We've had our troubles, but it's all mown over. It's all in the past. You know, just full support.
I think, Jose doesn't believe in the moon landing. So
okay, it was just a question, not to make fun of him right now.
Yeah.
That's for another time.
I'm pretty sure, unless something has changed, you might.
No, my remark was based on what he said earlier, so he still.
No, that's fine. If that's incorrect, then Jose can.
Okay.
He can speak for himself, but as far as I'm
aware, sure.
Yeah. Tom Hinshaw says, "Love how they didn't answer the question." Lol. What question were we supposed to answer? Because
who knows? And if you answer that one, there'll just be another one. What difference does it make?
Yeah, that's true. But I'm
the only one I saw was
any of you have any actual degrees in anything related to science? Laughing my ass off.
Yes, I have 3.
Yeah, Deadly Dave and Bullet Bill. I was about to say, what are your degrees in again? Because you both do.
And
then
in biology.
Yep, there you go.
So, well, Tom, come up with yours then.
Yeah,
I'd like to just still establish whether Tom Hinshaw is a globe believer or a flat earther.
Oh, I think flat earther by the original comment, but probably especially by this one. My thing as well is you can't just judge something on whether someone's got a degree. I was doing computer programming at college in the States, and I was a straight A student, but I just can't keep up with like school stuff. Like it's too. I can't stay focused for that long, so I ended up dropping out. You know, and you don't have to have a degree.
Why is it important for us lot here to have a degree? And then you'll deny every person with a degree that says we live on a globe.
Yeah, those ancients, those ancients.
You must have degrees
to refer to. Because it's always the ancients knew the world was flat because they didn't have any fucking education, or I mean, just I don't know. That's a fucking stupid. asinine question, and I'm tired.
Yeah, let's round it up. I'm going to do it. Sorry, Bullet Bill, go on, mate. But after that,
the thing is,
it is home time.
Yeah, we do. Yes, some of us do have degrees. It's not the be all and end all, but it's the implication is like, oh, we don't actually know what we're talking about. It's like, well, we actually do, and the point is,
but then if you have a degree, you're indoctrinated. You know.
Think this is massive.
Yeah, good point, Seek. Good point. Yeah, can't get a degree because that means you've sold your soul to the man.
and as you said, they don't listen to people with degrees. So like,
yeah,
I get about 15 degrees per hour.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, brilliant.
That was good.
That's brilliant.
I'm going to give you a bit of love on your channel.
Yeah, everyone here tonight, in the chat, please do subscribe to the people you've seen. We're all actually making content, apart from Bullet Bill. Come on, mate. It's about time you've done a debunking video. People are wanting it. People are wanting to see it.
I quite like the fact that, that he's there, like, ready to debate any Muppet that believes in a flat Earth. He doesn't need to debunk people because he'll do it live. He'll debunk multiple arguments at once. So yeah.
No, I'm only joking, Bullet Bill, mate.
No,
it's literally only joking.
I don't know. Maybe I will.
I wouldn't mind you doing some on, because a hell of a lot of awesome little scientific experiments that can be done at home with, household stuff, and that would be awesome because I want to find some stuff to do with my nephew this summer.
That might be
things,
fun.
and
because
I know you told me the one, the sort of pH test thing, so I am going to do that when I get to see him. So
what about some basic programming, like something like Blockly, or what's the other one called? I can't remember the name of it now, but it's basically a bricks. What'd you say, Bill?
Scratch.
Yes, that was what I was thinking of. Scratch. It's like a kid's version of a programming language where you can basically you get just items and blocks and you drag them together and connect them like jigsaw puzzles, and it's actually programming.
It's awesome.
It's really interesting.
I'm still a bit green. I don't know about I might do some sort of coding stuff, but I'm pretty new to. I mean, like compared to someone like you or even Limey Play, but I might do. But yeah.
I want to check out them two things for my nephew. They'd be awesome. What was it? Scratch, and what was the other one?
Blockly was the other one, but Scratch is better. Just stick with Scratch. Okay. And if you have a look at some of the Scratch stuff as well, you can get the likes of Scratch for Arduino, and then you can get you can use like Tinkercad or something like that. You can actually design bits and pieces, and you can use the online tool to actually do all the stuff for it as well. And quite literally, you could have lights flashing on and off, and you could have like a little motor turning around, and you could buy all the parts for 10-15 quid. And then like it's really easy to get into some of that sort of stuff. And if you're interested, I'll try and maybe Seek might be able to share an email with you or something like that. I think he has my details, and if you want to give me a shout on any of that, I'll happily go through whatever with you.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I can chuck my email in the private chat on StreamYard.
Oh yeah, cool. That'll work for me.
And that.
Cool. I'm gonna I've got to put my foot down now. I'm gonna do a round the table. Limey Play first. Have you got anything to say? Good man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, this was a nice surprise, actually, like when the notification popped up. Always awesome to see you guys, definitely. And thanks to everyone in the chat. Have a good evening.
Go and subscribe to Limey Play.
Oh, yeah, do that, or you get 7 years bad luck if you don't.
We need to get him up to Mr. 42.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of a battle
say?
going on. It's a race to 1K.
If
It's the
you
race to
watch
1K and it's on.
STST videos, there's always a copy of mine, so that's fine already. You can subscribe mine for the previews. Next up will be what is the idiot? Oh yeah, Daniel Pratt. So next week on STST, Daniel Pratt. Just kidding.
No, don't touch the Pratt. I don't touch
I'll
him.
put a link in the description.
Oh,
Subscribe
no.
if you haven't done so already.
I've actually been working on a 2-parter because of how much
shut
one
up.
of his videos, but I'm not going to bother if you're doing it because I hate that. But I hate that guy. Sorry,
I'm already halfway, so I
just muted Limey. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dude. I will let you have your final outro though, because everyone wants to hear it.
I saw that. I misread that.
Oh. I'm joking. I am joking, Limey.
it was good. It was good.
But Mr. 42, though, if we could refrain from interrupting him.
Yeah, I know Pratt is toxic, but I just wanted to do at least one video on him because it's pretty funny. And I always want to do a little German joke. A little Russian joke. And his video gave me the chance to do so. And that will be up next.
Nice. I'm not going to say go and subscribe to you because Limey Play needs to catch up. So
people prefer me anyway for some reason. I cannot explain that's what they do.
Yeah, I don't understand why either.
I'm joking. You know I'm joking. I just wish the best for all of us. It's all jokes.
Me too.
Deadly Dave, mate.
Yep. I actually have a channel with videos now. Well, videos. There's a 1 minute, and of course my very, very bold and brave attempt to call out Dan. And yeah, there's the link is in the chat. And yeah, please come and give a subscribe. And I think I'm going to actually start doing a bit of more stuff now. And yeah, we must also get onto that whole truth debates and actually start putting some work into that. My time is starting to free up a little bit now, so yeah, we can make stuff happen.
Yeah, the debate actually between Bullet Bill and BB made me realise it's possible. Just got to get a bit of buzz going. I think we'll get a few people over there. Hopefully, because I don't want to just it'd be easy for me to just kind of carry on trying to do that on this channel, but I'd really love to separate it and because I know certain people just love debates, and really formatted, and I'd love to do it over there. I wouldn't want it to be, anyone coming on saying what they want. It's just going to be 1v1 or 2v2
or formatted at least. Whatever rules we set, they're the rules, and we're going to try and keep people to stick to them. Because other than that, as you said, you'll allow it go a little bit out of hand, but then you gotta rein it back in.
Yeah, you got to allow a bit of drama, ain't you? Bloody hell. Do you know what I mean? That'd be so boring if, any time someone raised their voice or cut in with someone, if you were just like, no. You've got to allow.
Moderator.
What's up, bro?
Moderator.
If you pulled a Thompson every time.
Yeah. Step in, moderator. Referee. Stop him
bro,
from beating me.
What's up, bro?
Listen,
No, Deadly Dave, mate, thank you very much. Everybody should go and check that link. It's just a good video, and the top comment on there will be Soman Dan. Oh, I said it again.
top comment.
Saying he's going to do a retraction. Deadly Dave noticed he said something wrong, and he's going to correct himself. So I think that's just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, good video.
But Dave, mate, thank you so much, buddy. Always, of course, welcome. Us five here are like the Avengers, I think now. We're the go-to.
Deadly Dave's definitely Thor because he's got the hair.
Oh yeah, I got the Thor hair.
Yeah,
I don't have a hammer yet.
Mr. 42 is going to be Iron Man. No, he'd be Jarvis for Iron Man.
Now wait, we got Deadly Dave, headphones man.
Yeah, I don't know who I'd be. I think Limey Play would be
Truth,
Professor
man.
Xavier. But that's excellent. And then, who would I be?
I'd be Legion because he's got all the different personalities kicking as well, and each one gets its own superpower. So yeah, watch out for
And I
me.
think Mr.
Can I
42
mention
is
something
quite a good
important,
hero
by the
name
way?
in itself, to be honest.
Huh?
For
I think
people
that's
in the
quite cool.
chat, the live stream that will be on June the 19th will already include, and that's confirmed, Jesse 102 and Conspiracy Cats.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, 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 woo.
And I think we should
Excellent.
invite Renty as well.
Yeah, and STST if you want to come in.
No, he's not invited, but he just must come in randomly. And then we leave him for 10 minutes.
Actually, no.
What's the most amount of people we can have kicking in one StreamYard session?
10.
10, I think.
10?
Yeah. For the free
Sweet,
version,
Dave,
it's 10.
Bill, and yeah, I'm gonna try
Well,
and
you
get
can have,
Simon to come.
You can obviously have people come in and out as well, can't you? If you know what I
Oh,
mean.
that's true.
If
Yeah,
you did
that's
have,
true.
yeah.
Liam
We're just
Wakefield.
tangent. We're going off. Bullet Bill. Any outward thoughts?
Yeah, Rachie, if Rachie is still here and you're interested in a debate, talk to STST, talk to me as well if you can. I don't know how best to do that, but yeah, talk to STST, and he'll liaise with me, if you forgive the big words, and we'll arrange something. I can pretty much do weekends probably be the best for me, but yeah. What are you two laughing at? You ruined it.
That
Like,
was such
he
a
didn't
burn,
mean it.
you evil man.
He didn't mean it. He literally didn't mean it.
Wait,
Like,
what did I say? I don't really.
if you excuse the big words.
If you'll forgive the big words. Oh God, that was
But
great.
like, no, because Rachie's articulate and Bullet Bill
No,
knows
I
that.
And,
Honestly, it
and,
was
I
just
didn't
then,
mean
and
anything
then
from
we
that.
shall do battle, much to your chagrin. You will be defeated.
Anyway,
No, that's good.
yeah, so that's fine. You can set that up. Weekends probably best for me. But yeah, whatever you want, that's fine. And also, if you didn't check out my debate with BB, you can check that out if you like on STST's channel. As BB's basically a guy that didn't think lockdowns were necessary and trivialized COVID. So yeah.
Was that a shot?
Yes.
Rachie.
Nice one, Rachie.
He says it wasn't. I think it
interesting.
was.
Yeah, I think
It wasn't. I
think
was
it
making fun of myself saying
Are
the word
you saying
liaise,
that you're
I was
this
like,
pretentious
liaise.
all the time?
Oh, he might be.
I guarantee you, Rachie knows what liaise means, and Bullet Bill knew that Rachie knew what liaise means. Yeah,
I was
it was just
I was just a throwaway comment. I promise.
One
It was
last
funny,
thing,
though.
and then this will be the last thing that I do say, because I noticed that Helen DeGenerates has got a lot of stuff about the vaccines and the COVID hoax and all that, and just put a comment saying COVID scam. Yeah, at least 7 different members of my family have had COVID, including 2 children who are now suffering from long COVID. It's not a scam, and people like you that aren't taking it seriously are the reason that we keep having resurges in it. So, yeah, you're a dick.
Yeah, let's leave it on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay safe, everybody. I'm not going to be rude. Wait a minute. Charlie Welch, thank you so much for coming. The mighty one, 40-year-old Virgil. Deadly Dave, that's you. Doofus Manfred, Helen DeGenerates. Always welcome. That, again, I think there was an offer for a debate there from Bullet Bill as well. So, Helen, please contact me or just jump on the next stream and offer your wisdom. Super Ghost UK, Marcus Dresden. It's a me and Mario. Fire. Flatzoid, Rachie 0000. She's coming for Bullet Bill, so we've got to watch out for that one. Hopefully that will be coming soon.
Nice.
always welcome on the channel. Ian Keeley, the Flatvengers. I say that, I keep saying Ian Keeley, don't I? Is it Ian Kiley? Is it Kylie?
Yeah, Kylie.
Kylie. Ian Kiley. I know you're a friend of Deadly Dave, and it was a joke. Keeps calling you Keeley, but to me it reads as Keeley. But Ian Kiley, thank you. We're going to end on that. Stay safe, everyone, and keep it global. We are the Flatvengers. And let's end it. Let's end this flat earth nonsense. Rachie, come back. All the flat earthers. You may as well believe